Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. Welcome aboard. It's Team Canada, Team Czechia. Quarterfinals action is. I didn't believe we were going to be able to get to this matchup today, but just in time to get here settled in for what will be a 5:40 p.m. Mountain Time puck drop, 7:40 Eastern Time, as we get towards what will be a decisive game at last for Team Canada after finishing third in Pool A following the loss to Team USA. Team Canada now looking hungry to not repeat last year's performance and get ousted in the quarters by the Czechs. So we look forward to seeing what happens here tonight. Friends, a reminder as you join up on the stream, if you're a regular viewer, you've been back for the World Juniors a couple times, definitely make sure to leave a like on the stream here tonight. I feel like there will be a ton of folks who will be unable to tune into the game tonight, so we might as well at least direct them as best as possible throughout the action this evening. For those of you returning, thank you for wandering on back. Appreciate that. It's been a great World Juniors so far for us personally here enjoying the live stream together, but for Team Canada, an absolutely terrible effort thus far. Goal scoring has been atrocious, so have the special teams. However, 5-on-5, Team Canada has been pretty good. The discipline, absolutely garbage from Team Canada in the game against the US. Again, as a Canadian homer, I will always be back in Team Canada. That's why we're here live tonight, even though many would say we don't exactly have a shot against a strong Czech team that only lost to Sweden so far. But we did beat this Czech team in the pre-tournament actions. So there is a possibility here for Team Canada. Something gets going in a positive direction here this evening. So with that, welcome aboard once again. Glad to have you aboard here today as we fire up for Canada versus Czechia, the quarterfinals as you would have it. Looking forward to it. You hear, again, just fighting the nasal congestion, fighting the mucus all throughout this World Junior so far, but we have almost made a full recovery and we are almost ready to finish off today, Saturday or Sunday, what has been a fun tournament thus far. So glad, like I said, to have you along. Puck drop in about a matter of 15 minutes. We don't have the extended pregame edition like we have had for a lot of the tournament thus far. It is similar to what happened with the Czechia game back in the pre-tournament action, where I'm just not able to make it off work quick enough to get home and get things done. But here we are nonetheless, live and ready to rock and roll for a good hockey game this evening. Friends, you will have to bear with me. Like I said, already being on work today, you know you never drink enough water at work, so give me a moment here to run upstairs, get the water bottle going. We'll be back with pregame action. One thing to tell you, Porter Martone is back in and Carson Retkop is out of the lineup for Team Canada this evening. Carter George is your starter tonight. Stay tuned here in a brief moment. All right, for Team Canada tonight, I think the big thing will be, as it has been all tournaments so far, cutting down on the goals against and maximizing the goals for. Friends, welcome aboard. If you're just tuning in, I see we just popped up over 100 of you live along for the ride here. We are closing in on puck drop. Again tonight, like I do apologize if you've been a regular viewer and kind of hung out for the pregame so far and then you tune out once the game gets going. The extended pregame unavailable today due to get back to life, I guess. It is the new year. We're back to work and ready to rock and roll for what will be a fun finish to the World Juniors. Obviously, Saturday, Sunday still awaits us if we are able to get that far into the tournament for Team Canada. I think Saturday we'll be skipping action. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of a hockey tournament going on Olds that I've gotten an invite to come check out. And, you know, I love watching hockey down here in the studio, but I'd much prefer to be in a hockey rink on a cold January Saturday. So what we know, friends, Porter Martone, if you are just tuning in, has been scratched by Team Canada the last two games. He comes back into the lineup tonight for Team Canada as they will scratch Carson Retkop and start Carter George for the crease this evening for Team Canada. The offense, starving at the World Junior level this year. Team Canada's special teams haven't really been great, and overall the discipline in that U.S. game, I will tell you, taking penalties at the rate Team Canada did against Team USA is not for the faint of heart, and they got burned very, very badly for it by that U.S. squad. So that's obviously why the Canadian squad lost. They can't score goals, and they took too many dumb penalties against Team USA. So tonight, as Harpaz is saying there, Team Canada's got to stay out of the box tonight, and then all of a sudden everything will hopefully equalize out for Team Canada, and the chance to win the hockey game gets that much greater. So we continue along here on the pregame edition, just about now 10 minutes away from puck drop, friends. Like I'm saying, as I'm catching some of you for the first time here still on the live stream, even though we've only been live for 5 minutes. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you in again today. Again, for those of you wondering where to watch the game tonight, I will not be able to broadcast it live for you. Again, that's because TSN here in Canada owns the copyright. If I live stream it, I'm in a bunch of trouble, whether it be with YouTube or directly with TSN. So what I'll tell you about that is tsn.ca/live. It's going to cost you $19.99 for the month, but there's football, there's lacrosse. If you're in Ottawa, if you're in Toronto, if you're in Montreal, you can watch the Habs, Sens, Leafs in the regional games the rest of the month. Obviously, there's a ton of other stuff you can check out on TSN as well. Sports Center for highlights, whatever you want to do. And all of a sudden, you know, that $19.99, as long as Team Canada goes to the gold medal game, only really costs you $8.33 a hockey game, or whatever, $7.33, whatever it is. And it starts equaling out a little bit there for you. So Team Canada, obviously, a terrible effort last year against the Czechs, and they're looking to not repeat that here another year in a row here in the quarterfinals. Team Canada, if they get through to the semis, will play on Saturday. We have another day off at the World Juniors tomorrow, and then we go semifinals, finals on Sunday. So we'll see, obviously, which team is capable of doing that here this evening as we get towards puck drop in a matter of about 10 minutes, friends. If you're just joining the board, glad to have you as we get closer and closer to said puck drop. Now, the biggest thing is here, last time out against the Czechs, we did win, but that was in pre-tournament action. So for Team Canada, seeing what they have against the Czechs is going to be a very important measurement here in this quarterfinal to how well the last two games could very well go. It's win and move on, or lose and go home here at this stage of the World Juniors for Team Canada as we get things rolling towards semifinal and medal round action. Again, you get into the semifinals, you're at least guaranteed a shot at a medal. You lose tonight, you're not guaranteed anything if you're Team Canada, so keep that in mind. And again, friends, apologies if you are just tuning in and missed it a moment ago. If you're in Canada tonight, the only real hope you have of tuning into the hockey game is tsn.ca/live. And if you're in the US or around the world, NHL Network has the broadcast for you. So that's really your only two hopes. Again, I have heard ESPN Plus and Hulu also have the game available in the United States. So if you're looking for the game, go check that out. But again, if you're in Canada, TSN Sports on your cable package, if you have the sports package, owns it. If not, tsn.ca/live, sign up for the membership and get that going. As Sabina, welcome aboard, going for Team Czechia tonight. Looking forward to a good matchup. Again, the Czechs have been a very good match for Team Canada over the past few years here at the World Juniors, and looking forward to what they put forward once again here at the World Junior level this evening. As we continue on the pregame edition, we are just about to close out here and actually get to call in the play-by-play action here in a matter of moments, as Team USA today thumped Switzerland, a game in which Team Canada could have done the same had they had the ability to overcome themselves in that final pool play game against the US, where they really quite simply beat themselves by staying undisciplined and going out there and taking some real dumb penalties against Team USA. So Gord Miller and Mike Johnson have our call here this evening as well. Welcome aboard. I should say, Willie, welcome aboard as we get going towards puck drop here at 7:40 Eastern, 5:40 Mountain Time, friends. maybe I should make a mention here to those that know me actually personally from other outlets other than this YouTube channel. For those of you tuning in aboard, I'm excited to see what you think tomorrow as we get back to regular business on a Friday before we go out and enjoy the weekend. It's obviously been a fun time here, kind of having a lot of folks aboard. Again, the Team Canada, Team USA game set an all-time views record, live stream, video, short, whatever it is, here on the channel. So looking forward to seeing what we can do here this evening to try and repeat that again tonight, as it was a special night, and obviously going back and hearing some good feedback from some friends over the past 48 hours has been fun. And again, friends, if you are tuning in here this evening looking for the actual game, I cannot live stream for you because it is copyright of TSN Sports here in Canada. Whether I fight the copyright game with YouTube or I fight it with TSN, it's not a fight I want, nor do I need, so we will just have your play-by-play action of it here this evening. And again, I'll encourage you, if you're in Canada, to go to tsn.ca/live, sign up for the membership, $19.99. You can stretch $19.99 over the month of January very, very far on tsn.ca's streaming platform. I guarantee that. Don't sign up for TSN Plus, whatever you do. I know the Plus membership is a big thing for everybody nowadays. Don't sign up for that. You're just signing up for a TSN online viewing subscription for $19.99, and you get that going. So Mark saying that Canada can save face hopefully tonight. Yeah, here's the big thing for Team Canada. They've been out everything here in the tournament, Mark. I would agree on that. As basically for Team Canada, they desperately need to just stay disciplined, desperately need to have a coach that reins in some of these guys running the emotions, right? I think that's a big part of coaching at this level, is calming down your team, and Dave Cameron absolutely failed at that here at the game against the US, and obviously as well as we go into tonight's game, is checking your players along the way and making sure they are mentally capable of taking a shift, because there was a lot of players that were not mentally capable of taking one single step on the ice without doing something dumb in that game against the US. I get it. These are young guys at a high competitive level, and it takes a little bit to get the hockey going. So again, I guess stay tuned and see what happens here as this game goes along. So hopefully for Team Canada, everything works out, and we kind of calm down here tonight and get the job done against the Czechs, and like you said, save face, because it's going to be an important task for Team Canada to try and not get ousted 2 years in a row in the quarterfinals, specifically this year on home ice against Czechia. You know what, in Sweden, I believe it was last year, that's a different story. But here in Canada, especially with an event at the Canadian Tire Centre, you need to fill those stands if you're Hockey Canada the whole way through the tournament. And how you do that is at least having Canada play Saturday and Sunday. So we continue along here on the pregame, friends. We're about 3.5 minutes away from hockey action. I'll have your play-by-play for you again if you are in Canada. tsn.ca/live is where you want to go find the game this evening as we close in on puck drop. Team Canada coming out of the dressing room, down the tunnel here, getting set up for the action this evening. James Duthie on TSN Sports leading us through the charge here on the early edition as we get going here. Let's go here, 1565 times. Boom. And we are rocking and rolling. All right, we're already absolutely after this. Andrew, again, that's not exactly how rights in sports work, unfortunately. I do have to delete that. We try to keep the conversation as friendly as possible for everybody possible in the chat. Again, it's an all ages show, so we try and keep that mannered. That's really why your comment got deleted. Not that I don't somewhat have some bone to pick on that, but again, as well, just saying, keep the language appropriate, and we'll go from there. We go towards puck drop here this evening, 5:37 on the clock here in the Prairies, so we are just about set up for what will be this evening's Canada versus Czechia quarterfinal. Carter George starts for Team Canada, as he will probably start the rest of the way home through the tournament. Canada has gotten a very good goaltending performance out of them thus far. It's just they haven't helped them here in the tournament, as the other side too, Sam O'Reilly without Easton Cowan on the London Knights thus far. You want to talk about Team Canada choosing the wrong players. Sam O'Reilly, 12 games played, 9 goals, 10 assists in the OHL with the London Knights thus far. William Nicol has also been an impact player for the Edmonton Oilers with the OHL London Knights. So we continue to wait for tonight's hockey game to get underway this evening, friends. We are one commercial break away, and then things get this going. As again, if you are looking for the hockey game here in Canada this evening, it's on tsn.ca/live. If you'll sign up for a $19.99 a month membership, and you kind of get going from there. But again, if you're international in the U.S., over in the U.S., you're going to want to tune into Hulu or ESPN Plus or NHL Network, and they will have a broadcast available for you there. And as well, internationally, I could not tell you where to tune in. I believe the NHL Network dominates the international feeds, so you might want to keep it locked there, as well as it looks like Dalibor Dvorsky has made it a 1-goal game late in the game for Slovakia against Finland. We've got 2 Finnish referees and linesmen here in today's game, and 2 American referees and linesmen. So here we go, friends. We're closing in on action this evening. Carter George, 2-1 record, 1.01 goals against average, 964 save percentage thus far in the tournament. For Michael Hrabal, 2.36 goals against average, and a save percentage that's just as good as Dave Cameron mans the bench for Team Canada. He has been under a lot of heat in this tournament, and this is, as Mark put it, a very much so save face hockey game for Team Canada. Patrick Augusta, the head coach for Team Czechia, as we are about set for puck drop here between Czechia and Canada. Friends, welcome in. Thanks for being aboard here this evening on Dolynny TV. Again, I will tell you, if you want to stay tuned for the rest of the World Juniors, if we can get there, make sure to hit that subscribe button. One last shameless plug for myself, and let's do this. Let's get to action here. Canada versus Czechia in this one here, as this will go now a face-off between Team Canada and Czechia at center ice, and we are about set up for this evening's hockey game. Taking the face-off, Canada's Cal Ritchie in the face-off. Carson Rekoff is scratched for Canada as the face-off's pushed back by the Czechs into the Canadian zone. Immediately a shot towards the net, and Carter George will swallow that up with the glove and make a stop and play, as Canada, 3 of them, take the Czechs into the end wall. Just 6 seconds into this hockey game, a little bit of bad blood brewing maybe right out of the gates here. Is this the 5th straight World Junior playoff round meeting for Team Canada and Czechia? Quarterfinal, semifinal, gold medal, and of course the quarterfinals last year, where Czechia bested Canada 3-2. The score just underway here, 0-0. 6 seconds into the hockey game, a face-off to the right of Carter George as Cal Ritchie draws into the dot once more. Face-off down as the Czechs win it forward again into the Canadian zone. Quickly off the draw, Gibson picks it up to the far side corner, leaving it there for Easton Cowan, who he's been under fire over the past 24-48 hours for a dumb penalty here in the tournament against the U.S. as Czechia inside on the dump in, able to clear out of the zone. To the far side it goes, bouncing in front of the Canadian bench and dumped in by the Team Czech side, as it'll be picked up by Molendyk. Molendyk in through the near side of the Canadian zone, bounces it out to center ice, picked up there by Bradley Nadeau and turned over to Czechia. Far side wing attack, pass to the middle, tipped in through the 5-hole of Carter George. And Czechia, just like that, a bad play in the neutral zone by Canada, and Czechia will take home a 1-0 lead to begin tonight's action. Just like that, you'll see the scoreboard here on the screen. Update in a brief moment, but Sikora has scored for Team Czechia, and I mean just sloppy all-around play there by Team Canada, coming back into the neutral zone. Bradley Nadeau abandons his man to come rushing over, leaves the man wide open in the slot, and the pass that just curls off the Czechia stick in front of Carter George ends up going 5-hole right through the wickets. And to the back of the net it goes. Team Canada already off to a hot start here tonight, doing those same things that have kind of cost them throughout this tournament, as that's a big-time goal for Czechia and a big-time goal for a side in Canada that couldn't afford an early goal against, as we are down now 1-0 here, 19:17 to go in this first period of play. And yeah, already the fans in the stands for Team Canada looking on. I will tell you again, with the Edmonton Oilers playing this evening at 7 p.m., if Team Canada is down 3 or more goals at the end of the first period, I will can the live stream and get over to calling the game for the Edmonton Oilers. It's puck, a backhand shot by Team Czechia, turned aside that time by Carter George. Pass to the middle here for Canada into the behind the net areas. They'll work out back to the far side blue line. Missing the pass there is Dickinson. Dickinson looking to battle this one free, poked off the stick there, back to the blue line it goes. Dickinson rifles the shot through traffic, blocked in front, chasing into the corner. Here's Tanner Howe, so he'll go back to the blue line and miss the pass there with the defense. Oliver Bonk for Team Canada, over D to his partner Dickinson. Near side pass now, shot in by Porter Martone and off the end wall, and it's left there for Galvis, who will come to the near side for Czechia and try to escape the zone here. A big hit along the wall keeps Czechia hemmed in for a brief moment. They lift out to the Canadian blue line. Back the other way here is Pinelli. Pinelli across the line now for Catton. Over to McKenna. McKenna back to the blue line, spinning around. Price at the blue line looking to get this pass down. And McKenna, the shot through traffic there in front of the Czechia player, looking to block that one. The glove save on the rim around there after the blue line shot, as that one will be stopped by the Czech netminder, and we have a stop and play. Here was 17:59 to go in this first period, I do believe. So McKenna fires a shot through traffic, and again, Team Canada, the shots and shot selection here so far in this tournament have been poor to very poor at best as the tournament has carried along, and this Team Canada squad has been rather loose here as it goes. Do the Oilers play tomorrow? I don't know. Do the Oilers actually play tomorrow? I thought it was Thursday that they play. Hold on here. They actually do play tomorrow. Never mind. That is my apology. I thought for sure it was tonight. Again, this whole holiday season has been kind of jumbling me up. The puck ends up in the bench for the Czechs. They'll be hemmed back in their own zone just 7 seconds after the last face-off. So I guess maybe win, lose, or otherwise, we have to go through this the rest of the way. And I guess we have Friday night plans, whether I liked it or not. Okay, game on. As Jurček, the 16th overall pick by the St. Louis Blues in the 2024 draft. Here we go, friends. Face off to the right of Hrabal in net for the Czechs. 17:52 to go. Both teams kind of mild shots so far. One shot, I think, for Czechia, and it's been a goal thus far, and one shot maybe that was a backhand save, as this one picked up now by Team Canada inside the Czechia zone. Boakey fires the shot, speak of the Oilers, through traffic. It was blocked and then fired back down low there by Gauthier to the far side, and it'll be again a battle won by Luchenko, who I think Jet Luchenko should really be getting some big time here for Team Canada in this game. He's been pretty solid throughout the tournament. Canada now with 2 shots credited, Czechia with 3. Battle along the far side boards inside the Canadian end, won by the men in red and white this evening as it comes back in behind the net of Hrabal. 17:10 to go. Hebger will pick it up here in his own zone. Headman along the near side through the neutral, carrying Czechia across the line, drifting a shot towards the net off the back glass and back on the tape. Molendyke able to win a battle for the puck, get it over to Ritchie, who taps it to Cowan. A nice little play there to get it to Gibson, and Canada in flight across the zone will be ruled offside for the time being. Czechia picks it up, and they'll get going back the other way here. 16:40 to go here in this first period of play. Across the line, the shot ripped, save made there, as another shot right in front goes directed towards Carter George, and he will glove hand save that one with 16:33 to go here in this first period. And friends, I cannot believe I goofed up when the Oilers game was. I was for sure convinced that I was going to be missing the Oilers game tonight, but I guess that will not be the case this evening. We will go the distance with Team Canada, win, lose, or otherwise here, as it's going to be an interesting result based on how the first 5-ish minutes have played out thus far. Team Canada has looked poor to not very good at best so far in this hockey game. Just 3.5 minutes in, as well, I guess to say they have most of the tournament thus far. 5-1 the shots on goal so far for Czechia. Along the left wing, Canada trying to beat the defense by dumping it in. Can't do it. Czechia cut it off. 3-on-3 attack back into the Canadian zone. Turned back by Jaeger. Jaeger down in front of the benches here. Will work across the blue line. Over now, Martone on net. And that is an offside. And he's going to be taken exception to by Sikora, the goal scorer. And it looks like Team Canada is going to draw a power play for their efforts here on that play. So 16:15 to go. A chance for the poor to very poor at best Team Canada special teams to get something going here early on in the first period, where they find themselves down 1-0 as Jaeger drew across the line here, trying to hold the line, just barely offside. I mean, literally a couple of inches there a few years ago. Maybe that doesn't even get reviewed. But this will be a power play opportunity nonetheless after the Czechs took exception to the shot drifted towards the net there by Team Canada. So we'll have to face off inside the Czech zone. Sikora goes off for roughing with 16:15 to go here in this first period of play. Face off to the right of Hrabal inside the Czech zone. One back by the Czechs. Off the draw, player goes down. Cal Ritchie whistled for the tripping call, and already right there, before they can even get an opportunity to get going, Canada puts themselves in the box 4 seconds into the power play. Again, this has been a very poor tournament so far for Team Canada, and they now find themselves in the box 4-on-4 for the next minute 56 here against Czechia. Tripping call off the face-off. Get out, like, you know that old expression, they can't even get out of their own way? The Oilers are very good at that sometimes, specifically usually early in the season, but that's what we've seen game in, game out so far from Team Canada here in this tournament. And again now 4-on-4 as the face-off comes inside the Canadian zone. The point shot through traffic, turfed aside by Carter George. He glove flipped it out. We're 4-on-4 for the next minute 45. Down the right wing, Team Canada trying to exit their zone through the middle. Easton Cowan carries across the line to the far side. Catton bounces it off the skates of Bonk, and then it's a breakaway pass for Czechia down in the middle of the ice, in on goal. Shots fired up over top of the corner of the post. That puck just kind of disappeared on everybody for a brief moment, and Bonk will fire out to Catton on the far side. 15:37 to go here in the first period. Puck, nice little bit of play there by Team Canada to get a shot on Hrabal, but I mean standing tall is the man in net for Czechia. And again, another blue line pass. The shot short side on George goes off him into the corner, into the far side, off the board bounce. And here's Dickinson behind the net playing at Bonk, loading up now. Gavin McKenna out there on the 4-on-4 with a minute to go with the cage on. Obviously the hopeful first overall pick in the 2026 draft. Yager in the middle of the ice, picking this puck up, going up in the middle of the neutral zone, turned back into his own zone by Stankel. Stankel gets it drifted over to Gibson off the pass by Yager. The pass comes back now for the Team Canada captain, is carrying ahead as Molendyk through the middle of the ice. He's sealed off. And the other side about Team Canada so far in this tournament is they just do not have the power to will themselves through the defensive teams that they maybe at times used to, as this one's tipped in by Team Czechia, and it will ultimately be a miss on the tip-in. I thought they got it. They didn't. And we will have an icing call here inside the last few moments of 4-on-4. The breakaway for Czechia just missing off the glove, it looks like there. A glove tip just barely up over top of the net on Carter George. Team Canada blitzing into the zone then a moment later. And a kick save, pad kick there by Michael Hrabal that got it going into the corner. And Team Canada lucky to continue surviving here in this 4-on-4. They've allowed 2 good chances on net here on the 4-on-4 with 21 seconds to go. Face off, one back by Cowan. Here's Molendyk at the blue line, firing the shot through traffic, goes wide. Picked up now by Cowan as he'll drag to the middle for Nadeau, who is guilty on the goal against for Team Canada. Now down 1-0 here. 5.5 minutes into the hockey game thus far. Across the line, carrying for Czechia into the zone, the red and gray topped sweaters as they go to the power play for 4 seconds. Nadeau swallows up his man here as this one's battling along the wall. 14:07 here in this one as this goes against the boards. Picking it up, Molendyk goes along the end wall. Now a chance here for Cowan to get out into the middle of the ice. Cowan will try and escape the pressure, and he will get it up now for the attack. Team Canada go into the far side, trying to push in front, sticked away by Hrabal. Bounce off the boards there and picked out of the zone by Czechia rather quickly. Fired in. We go back to 5-on-5 here in this middle part of the first period. 13:36 to go. 6-2. The shots on goal for Czechia's puck over to the near side. Picking it up, backhanded, back down low by Team Canada. It'll be fired up off the boards, tipped in there. And this one will be back behind the goaltender Hrabal as he plays it up along the near side boards. Catton. We've got a little extended period of play here. Last time I did that, I ended up losing the oxygen in my brain, I swear, as I kind of faded there at the end of the Germany-Canada game when we had 5 minutes uninterrupted midway in that third period. Is 13:05 to go here in the first period as Czechia loading up along the far side wall. Not much of substance happening here in this little bit of the middle part of the first period as the puck just continues to be batted along the walls by Team Czechia. Canada comes back out. Catton will get it over to the far side for Pinelli. He carried across the line, and then again stonewalled there by this one here along the near side. Picked up again back in behind the net. Dickinson looking to get this one going here back behind the net over to Bonk. Bonk will look to lay this one up the near side. The Czech attack again at the blue line, standing tall, and they'll turn it back. The shot fired towards the net goes wide of Carter George, and this one's going to be picked up again by Team Canada out into the neutral zone. Czechs load up the attack here across the line one more time. The back pass doesn't quite work out, maybe didn't pay dividends quite the way they thought it would. Bonk battling along the wall. We'll see it worked out into the neutral zone. 12:05 to go here in this first period of play, an icing call against Team Canada. 12:02 remains in a first period in which we just had a long time without a whistle, and I'm surprised we're not going to commercial break. As this one, let's see what we got. Yeah, this is true. As long as Team Czechia just allows Canada to lose the game themselves, which is exactly what they did against the U.S., they will be fine. The shot cued in from the point here for Czechia. 11:56 to go in this first period. The shot fired around the boards. Now near side, Dickinson's going to battle it up to the blue line here. Martone can't get it out of the zone. Battling again. Czechia keeps it in at the blue line. Shot is fired off the glass though, and Dickinson's able to get to it and allow Jaeger to make the pass to Martone. Martone out into the neutral zone. Dribbles one through. Here's Tanner Howe down the left wing. He's trying to drag to the middle of the ice. He can't get going. Is this one coming across the middle of the slot as Molendyk somehow continues to swing his stick and come up with pucks inside the Czech zone. This one back to the blue line will be picked up by Canada outside the blue line there as it just kind of dribbled out. And here's Czechia battling along the wall, trying to keep Canada at bay as Luchenko's now chasing the puck around the offensive zone. Luchenko along the line. He gets stumbled off the puck. And, oh, that's a big hit there by number 26, Baudouin for Canada. But it's still back the other way. Results in a shot on goal. And Sikora is down for Team Czech. Yeah, there, and oh boy, he is down in pain, and it looks like Baudouin is going to go to the box here as they're yet to get the trainer out there to Sikora. And Baudouin came in flying, and looks like he definitely led with the knee as the principal point of contact. He will definitely be heading to the box, likely here at the IIHF. They take that stuff seriously. I bet you that will be a 5-minute major for kneeing here for Baudouin as he just came flying in there, and Sikora looks like he's going to get up off the ice here helping. But again, friends, if you are new to the channel and you've been enjoying things so far, whether you have faith like some people might, but definitely not like I don't have, that Team Canada gets around to the semifinals. Again, I'm not sure if I have semifinal action, but hopefully we'll have semis and gold medal game no matter what here on the channel, no matter who of the remaining teams moves on. Obviously today it's been Team USA, Team Sweden, and I believe we're still waiting for a result between Finland and the other squad there today, as Finland takes it a 5-3 final over top of Slovakia. So it's USA, Sweden, Czechs, and Canada still alive, and then of course yeah, Finland, USA, Sweden, the winners so far today. So yeah, we'll see what happens here tonight, friends, as Team Canada desperately needs to get in gear. As Ace is saying, looks like the second best team in the game so far. It's been pretty brutal so far for Team Canada in this tournament, and then this one kind of responding the way they have in this one. Again, another unnecessary penalty to take as Baudouin just kind of comes in there. I know he's trying to throw a shoulder check, but you don't lead out with the knee the way he did there. Again, you got to kind of watch the whole body when you're throwing a hit. And I guess what I'd be saying is for Hockey Canada is having taken out hitting at the lower levels of hockey here overall, is it's just really looking like looking like it was a big mistake. I know they're trying to reduce injuries to our young kids here in the country, but this hitting has been absolutely brutal here over the past few years at the World Juniors. It's cost Team Canada a lot of penalties, and right now you got to figure if you're Hockey Canada, you're starting to have to reevaluate how you're running your system, because not allowing the younger kids to hit, and I mean, you watch any level of competitive hockey in Canada, you're watching a lot of goofy stuff go on at the older levels that never used to be there because these kids used to be prepared for it. And here tonight, obviously, you're seeing another example of it on this hit by Beaudoin, where again, a shoulder check should be a shoulder check where you explode through a guy and really make an impact, but instead, for some reason, he's leading with the knee here, which just makes zero sense to me. I know, yeah, the Czech player's cutting to the outside, but again, if you're going to line up a player, again, he's got a solid shoulder check there, but he's leading with his knee and leaves himself exposed for a penalty, and that's just really dumb. So again, you can say that Team Canada's getting out-coached, whatever, but there's no coaching that goes into, hey, when you're going to lay the body check, lay it with the shoulder, not the knee, like these kids on Team Canada are doing here in this penalty for Beaudoin. So we'll see what happens here. Good evening to everybody just joining aboard, seeing everybody pop in here. I'm seeing numbers just climb astronomically here in the last little bit, so thank you for tuning aboard here this evening. Glad to have you. It's going to be a kneeing call against Beaudoin. Like I said, 5-minute major. I knew that was coming. He's out of the game as well. It's obvious as it comes. I mean, you watched the replay once and you knew it was coming as soon as they blew that whistle. And I will blame, again, it's not on Beaudoin, it's not on the coaching staff at Team Canada, it's on Hockey Canada and how they choose to run minor hockey in this country. It's an embarrassment, really. Again, I've been getting fired up about it, but yeah, this is just where we're at as a hockey nation. We've taken out the hitting from our youth levels to such an extent that you're seeing guys at the World Juniors lead with their knee for a hit, instead of, like that was a real easy blow him up. 5-6 years ago, you would have seen that guy get blown out of the water and he would have actually been injured. As here, unfortunately for Team Canada, it's the right call because our hockey players are taught to be dumb at the minor levels. So here we go, 5-on-4 for Czechia, and we'll have a face-off here inside the Canadian zone. Again, you take out hitting in the youth levels where kids learn to be smart about how they throw hits, and that's going to be the result at the competitive levels like the World Juniors and stuff now coming up over the next 5-6 years. These kids just simply don't know what to do when they're throwing the body. Face off, obviously controlled by the Czech side, but it's fired down by Canada on a bobble there at the blue line. 10:39 to go here in this first period of play. 20 seconds off the clock as leading forward is the Czech side, across, played back into the zone, Czechs through the neutral and quickly back into the Canadian end as this one goes back to the blue line, picked up by the Czech side on the far end, and they'll fire the pass through the middle of the ice as this one comes back near side. Gauthier leads the puck out into the neutral zone, and this will be fired all the way down to Hrabal with 10:11 to go here in this one, as this will be to the far side, picked up and fired back down there by Team Czechia across the line, picking it up and firing near side boards. As again, there's still not much substance really happening in this game so far through 10 minutes. Czechia with a quick early goal as the puck kept in on side. Canada again clears it out. Here's a shorthanded breakaway for Jaeger in on net, denied by Hrabal. Puck right in front. Canada scores shorthanded. Tanner Howe throws that one over top of the shoulder blocker side of Hrabal on the nice pass to the middle, and finally Team Canada connects on a one-touch in front of the net, and we tie this hockey game 1-1. Problem is, we still got a power play for Team Czechia for the next 4 minutes, and we're getting outshot 10-4 in this hockey game thus far. I don't know how Braden Jaeger found that breakaway, but what a play there from the Canadian defense, and then the touch tip there by Howe to put it up over the corner shoulder there of Hrabal. What a beauty. But again, this is a far from a Picasso here in this one. It's now 1-1 between Canada and Czechia here in this one. Tanner Howe, just what a touch there to force it over top of the far shoulder of Team Czech's goaltender there in Michael Hrabal, as we'll have this one, as this will be a face-off, one back by Canada, picked up by Gibson. He'll fire it into the zone. 10 for the shots for Czechia here early on in this game, and so far in the tournament, out-shooting their opponent hasn't exactly been a problem up until the U.S. game for Canada, but now again back-to-back games where the opponent's starting to dictate things inside the Canadian zone, unlike the other parts of the tournament. Yes, Latvia scored and won the game, but again, Canada dictated a lot of the offensive zone time, and Howe has tied the game again. Friends, I will tell you, we will try and have some semifinal action here for you on the channel on Saturday. I do have a hockey tournament that I've been invited to attend Saturday out in Olds, Alberta, so we'll try and get out there, and if we have to miss the Canada game or if Canada even makes it through, we'll see. But again, we'll try and get semifinal action up, so I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Specifically as well, we're getting back into Oilers season here. Tomorrow night, the Oilers live here on Dolynny TV as we get set up for a game against the Anaheim Ducks. I'd love to have you aboard. Obviously, the last game against the Anaheim Ducks didn't exactly go according to plan for Team Edmonton Oilers, so we'll see if the Oilers can muster up a better effort this time around against the Ducks. That would be much greatly appreciated. It was a very, very brutal game to watch against the Ducks there on, what was that, Sunday, I believe? Saturday? I don't know what. But yeah, we're looking to see what things get going here in this one as we get going towards a hockey game in which Team Canada now tied one apiece here against Team Czechia. So we're looking to hopefully get things going as obviously everybody continues to stay focused on the coaching staff for Team Canada. That's been kind of the focus throughout the tournament so far, is the coaching staff making the decisions they have, and the decisions they have made have been pretty brutal at times here in this tournament, obviously picking the team being number one. So we're looking to get this one going back in the right direction here. 1-1 with 3.5 minutes to go. Shorthanded for Canada on the kneeing call for Beaudoin. He's out of the game, as this one will go back now near side, fired down by Gibson down below, as this will be picked up by Hrabal. Hrabal behind the net, as this will be picked up again by the Czech defense, led back into their own zone. 9:15 to go here in the first period, as to the far side. Czechia across the line, looking to get back along the wall and get back into the defensive position, but they just couldn't get it back to the blue line at all, as Team Canada did a good job there, as this one will be back to the blue line, picked off there by Luchenko and fired down. Here's this one. It keeps going, as this will be back to the Czechs inside their own zone. 2:52 to go here in this first period of play. 10-4 the shots on goal. 8:45 remaining here in this first period of play, as the power play is still not even half over for Team Czechia, as it's ripped out of the zone back into the Czech end, as this will be Hrabal left behind the net, as this will be 8:30 to go, and time just continues to wind down on this Czech power play, as Team Canada really the only ones to get something going on it here. Picked up in the neutral zone. Czechia across the line to the far side, playing it down low, played there by Bonk, as Molendyk will try and come out of the woodwork there on the far side corner and tie it up, as 8:11 to go here in this first period of play. Fired back along the boards, picking it up to the blue line. Here comes Skora for Team Czechia, really hurt after that kneeing call, as the shot fired towards the net, blocked in front. 7:59 to go as the blue line comes up big for Czechia, keeping it inside the zone. Down the left wing, here's Sikora playing it down behind the net, and they'll go to the far side, loading up the shot now near side. Sikora can't handle it. Team Canada bounces off the glass and out. As Josh, good evening to you. Glad to have you aboard, my friend. We'll hopefully catch up with you a little later on this evening, as 7:35 to go here in this first period of play. Puck back into the middle of the ice, as this one will be back down to the far side corner, as this will be a battle now for Team Czechia as they set up zone time, peeling the puck off the wall. Team Canada, one-timer in front. Shot fired, scores. Team Czechia off the end wall puts it home, as that one goes to the back of the net. 2-1 the score for the Czechs, and yeah, 7:15 as Gavin McKenna continues to sit in the box for Team Canada. This has been a brutal hockey game start to start so far for Team Canada. That puck goes up over top of the net, and they put it in their own net. Dickinson gloved it into his own net. Give me a second if I can't believe this one for right now, as Team Canada has really struggled to get things going this evening, and now putting pucks in their own nets. That is brutal. That is absolutely rough if you're asking me. I mean, we honestly, like I said, can't even get out of our own way, and yet again cost ourselves a goal, this time literally by putting it into our own net. So we will have a face-off at center ice. Luchenko sees it won back by Team Czechia across the line. They've already got the power play goal, and they've still got a minute 14 to go. The puck goes off a player out of play. 7:08 to go here in this first period of play. And Team Canada, I don't know what to think here. Just like I'm saying, can't get out of their own way. Czechia obviously having a fun one here tonight. They got 11-4 of the shots on goal, a shorthanded goal against. I mean, Team Canada, their special teams have been weirdly bad and good. The penalty kill has 2 goals, but have surrendered a ton of goals against. The power play has been mediocre at best, but scored some goals. So we'll have a face-off here inside the Canadian zone, playing it along the near side boards. Gauthier battling off the end wall, trying to free it up as Luchenko will look to fire this one off the wall as Bonk goes around to the far side. Molendyk will rip it back to the blue line. The Czechs can't keep it in. A nice physical play there by Luchenko to force it back deep into the neutral zone as Czechia quickly plays it. And again, Canada to be penalized here with 6:48 to go. Or is Czechia going to the box? I'm not sure. Both teams kind of touch the puck. It's going to be Molendyk. No, he's headed to the bench. It's Czechia, actually. Oh, my goodness. Both teams stay out of the box. As we'll have 51 seconds of 4-on-4 before Team Canada goes back to the power play for the second time this game, as Czechia kind of takes an interference call. I thought that was Canada all the way with Molendyk tying up, but they actually call up Czechia on the call. That's an interesting one for me, but hey, we'll take it as Team Canada gets lucky there with an official call, as I guess it looks like really Molendyk grabbed the arm of the Czech player, but it's the Czech player that goes to the box is the ruling. So Hradek goes off for interference with 6:48 to go here in this first period of play. Puck to the near side. Martone can't get it cleanly back to the Canadian defense, so it'll be picked up by Minio. Minio back now for Price, who will just back skate behind his own net, bounce it off the boards. Team Canada just trying to kill this 4-on-4 to get this one into a power play situation, as across the line carrying with speed is the Jäger, and he almost dangled his way into bouncing a goal off his shins. Jäger across to the far side trying to tap home for Price. Price can't, of course, do that with 20 seconds to go here. The puck will free up along the end wall. Czechia is going to steal it inside their own zone and try and skate out here to middle ice. Across the line, Sikora into the Canadian end. He'll peel back. Try to tap this one across perfectly at the blue line for the defenseman. Back to the blue line again. Czechia will fire it around the far side boards. It's now a Canadian power play with a minute 08 left on the 5-on-4. Stepping out of the box is Gavin McKenna. Immediately to the box again. I don't know why you would have Gavin McKenna go to the bench, not box, as this will be carried forward by Ritchie. That second unit's been buzzing. The shot save, rebound out to Catton is, of course, nothing to get excited about. It's a save for Hrabal and nothing more, as this will be picked up at the blue line again. A shot through traffic, turned aside by Hrabal. Cowan battling along the near sideboards. He's looking to get this one going again. The shot loading. He'll instead deflect a pass off the Czech defense. Back to the blue line. Dickinson carrying at the blue line decides to just fire it right into a Czech player, and it'll be fired down the ice with 5:14 to go here in this first period of play. Dickinson picking it up, 20 seconds remaining in the power play. Again, Team Canada wasting their efforts with that top line out there. They have been absolutely, I don't want to say the word, but you get where I'm going. It starts with you and ends with less here in this tournament thus far. Is picking up the puck, Cowan back to the blue line, now trying to queue up the one-timer was Price, but it'll be turned over to the Czech side, and they'll fire all the way down in the Canadian end. And suddenly, just like that, we've got 4:45 to go here in this first period of play. Far side, the 5-minute major, a thing of the past now. Czechia scores a goal on it, so does Canada. It's a 2-1 hockey game. Picking off the tape of Cowan was Team Czechia again. Blame the coaching all you want, but the poor effort from Easton Cowan after all the hype here in this tournament has been absolutely unacceptable, as this one's going to be picked up by Jäger across the line now for Gavin McKenna. Jäger battling. He's taken a hip hit there, and just kind of jumps off the boards basically, and McKenna's able to pick up the puck and spin away from danger into the corner. McKenna's still dancing around with the puck. Queuing up the one-timer was Gibson, absolutely fanning on it. Also was Gibson as Pinelli gets back to the blue line. Gibson through traffic, scrambling the crease. Harabel gets bailed out by his defense and keeping it in. Molendyke again along the far side wall. Back to Molendyke here at the point. He'll fire the shot through traffic, scooped up by the big glove save of Harabel with 3:50 to go here in this first period of play. Friends, welcome aboard. If you're just tuning in to Dolynny TV, thank you so much for hanging out this evening. Obviously not the result Canada's hoping for so far through over 15 minutes to play. But again, if you are new, I'd encourage you to hit that subscribe button on the odd chance that Team Canada wins this evening's hockey game and moves on to the semi. We would have coverage hopefully on Saturday, as long as the game out there in Olds, Alberta doesn't take us all night. So what I will also tell you, friends, if you are tuning in here in Canada wondering where to watch the game on, tsn.ca/live. I know you've missed most of the first period, but if Canada goes all the way to the gold medal game, doubtful at this point given the way they've played. But again, if they do, we're cheering for our boys in red and white. Again, if they can, it will only really cost you about $7 for each game. Again, you're not watching your niece, nephews, grandsons, granddaughters, cousins hockey game for less than $7 on a pay-per-view on Flow Hockey or something nowadays. So I guarantee you it's worth your money to spend here on the World Juniors this evening. So we continue along on the broadcast, friends. Glad to have you aboard. We're just about to get back to hockey action. It's been a very poor hockey game thus far for Team Canada. The one goal they did score, a breakaway for Yager that he doesn't find a result on, ultimately fires the puck in front, and a tip there by Howe gets the goal going. So we'll see what Team Canada can go here in this one, as this will be a face-off. One back by Czechia inside their own zone. 3:45 to go, friends. Of course, from the Czech side of things, thanks for being aboard here tonight. Appreciate you hanging out as this puck's along the near side wall. Pinelli sees it battled there by Price, knocking it down. Pinelli and Price battling just outside the Canadian blue line. Near side, puck ends up in front of the benches now, and it's fired in by Czechia once more, as it'll be Price picking it up, wheeling and dealing in behind his own net to the far side, bouncing it out into the neutral zone. The Czechs, for the most part, controlled the first half of the hockey game, pretty much leading the shots 10-4 at that point. But now, all of a sudden, Canada's got it to an 11-8 deficit, and here's Catton across the line, loading up. He is checked offside, so we will have a stoppage and play once more for a face-off just outside of the Czechia blue line, friends. This Canada game, at some point, Canada's just got to bust the dam and start scoring a bunch of goals, and so far it doesn't look like they're at all interested in doing that here in this first period of play. The zone time really, outside of power play time and special teams time, very seems limited here for Team Canada this evening, as we'll have the face-off now for Team Canada as Luchenko comes out to take this one, as this will be to the far side, picked up by Czechia. Battling there near side, it comes inside their own end, off the boards near side, bounced in the neutral, across the line. Nice play there, right there to keep it onside by the Czech team in red and gray top jerseys this evening. Luchenko to the far side corner, able to battle it off the Czech sticks, and Canada now trying to exit their own zone. A poor play there by Cataford, sees it work now near side for Bonk. Bonk spins off the Czech, 2:39 to go. Here in this one to the far side, picking it up now, battling along the boards, is picked up by Czechia, right in front, the shot, pad denial by Carter George. I blinked and I thought for sure a goal had gone in, but the pad makes the save nonetheless. 2:30 to go here in this first period, and Carter George, after a miss by Sam Dickinson, he's also put a puck into his own net tonight. Carter George comes up with the save of the game thus far, out extending the pad and making the save right there, as that was absolutely unbelievable. Cutting it there with the pad and making it go. This one will be a face-off here for Team Canada, as we will have a quick stop in the play here with 2.5 to go for the linesman to reset the face-off. Linesman crouched down. Czechia wins the draw here inside the Canadian zone. Back to the far side. Blue line, the shot through traffic. Rebound comes in front, and it's cleared out by Canada, and that will for surely be an icing call here against the Canadian squad with 2:19 to go in this first period of play. 13-8 the shots on goal for Czechia as they continue to pile them up here early and often in this hockey game, as this one will be going here in this game so far. That's the shot through traffic, save made there by George. Again, he's come up huge for Canada so far. He was named the best goalie at the 2024 U18 Worlds. He had a 6-0 record at that international tournament. Jaeger's getting talked to by the linesman here. We'll have the face-off as it's won back by Canada. Molendyk to the far side. Works it out in the neutral zone. Canada misses another pass. And it's whistled down for another icing here against the Canadian squad just 6 seconds after the last one. This is where all of a sudden Czechia can start to get a little dangerous for you if you continue to allow them to take offensive draw after offensive draw inside your own zone. 2:13 to go here. Jaeger has to draw in for what will be the face-off of the game so far. Here's Team Canada trying their best to stay alive inside their own end late in this first period face-off. Canadian zone as the puck will be dropped at some point here, maybe. I don't know. One back this time by Jaeger again, trying to bounce it off the end wall. Now Gibson leaves it for Molendyk. Molendyk through the neutral zone finally gets a tip down on that puck, and it'll be Hrabal leaving it there far side for his defenseman. Puck comes free inside the Czech zone, and Canada trying to swallow up on it as Ritchie's causing all kinds of problems, but the Czechs able to clear out. Zidlicki into the middle of the ice. Peter across the line now near side for Koss. Koss will fire it down behind the net, and this will be again Team Canada turning back that attack behind Carter George as Gibson carries it out from behind his own net to the far side bench area. Puck through the neutral zone, tips up off the stick of Molendyk, and he'll come into the zone. The shot fired off the side of the net, or maybe never even got there thanks to a Czech stick, and we'll have a play on the play where I believe the Czechs are going to go to the penalty kill here. As Team Canada might have drawn one in the corner, is picking up at the blue line. Here's a shot by Molendyk through traffic to the far side it goes. I might be wrong on that penalty, as I believe the referee made sure just to contend that there was going to be nothing further out of that battle. A shot through traffic there by Nadeau hits Ritchie in front, and the referee opting to not blow the whistle yet as the Czechs will fire it down into the Canadian end. 57 seconds to go here in the first period of play. Ritchie just took a puck in the mouth as this will be carried forward by Price, tapping across to the far ice, and this will be carried now by the Czechs through the middle of the zone. 2-on-2 back the other way. Skora winds up the slap shot, fires it far glove side, missing the net there. Back inside the Czech zone, near side the pass comes as Czechia will lead up through the middle of the ice, turned back by Minio. Now another chance for Catton to lead ahead to the far side. Shot from the blue line. Pinelli, the save made by Hrabal, and we will have a stoppage in play here in this hockey game's first period. And there we have it, as Molendyk also got whacked. A little bit of a stick blade caught him up in the face area. Looked like a stick on the Czech follow through in this one. Again, also a puck right off the jaw there for Ritchie, kind of off the side mouth there area, and tough go there as that puck comes in and rattles the teeth, I'm sure, as we'll have a... Ooh, he's cut too. He's cut on the play and he's hurting. There's a little bit of blood on that sweater. 28.4 seconds to go here in the first period, in which has been another classic Canadian disappointment so far in this World Junior Tournament. They write chapter after chapter, it seems, as this one comes back near side inside the Canadian territory. Dickinson plays it over to Bonk. Bonk will fire ahead, picked off there in the middle of the ice by Canada as McKenna will get it across to Dickinson. Dickinson immediately turns it over, and now a chance here for the Czechs. A 3-on-2 with 3 seconds to go. The shot scores. Czechia goes up 3-1 with just over 2.5 seconds to go here in this first period of play. It's been a wild hockey game. I mean, Canada's self-inflicting errors all across the ice, and again, just a bad pass, a giveaway at the blue line leads to a goal against, and Team Canada just can't seem to get out of their own way. A puck off the skates of Jaeger ultimately is how it frees up the Czechs back the other way, and burying on Carter George. So far in the hockey tournament, so far for Team Canada, had been 5-on-5 that had been a strength, but the Czechs now cracking Team Canada for 2 goals, 5-on-5 here in this first period. And now you have it, a 3-1 game for Czechia. Is, you know what, good on them though. That's been the thing, right? They beat us last year, and Team Canada should have been ready to learn from this experience, and they so far have not this evening. Edward Shales fifth goal of the tournament from Mastolerski and Galvis as well, as time expires off the board here in this first period of play. Friends, thanks for being aboard. Welcome aboard if you're just tuning in and I haven't caught you yet. It's 3-1 for the Czech side here in this hockey game, as in the game so far, Sale scoring a goal for the Czechs. As well, I believe Skora scored a goal for the Czechs. It's kind of been a goal-scoring effort so far in the hockey game, to be honest with you, in a game in which Team Canada really didn't start out of the gate. Stankel scored the goal, the power play goal for the Czechs, and Tanner Howell, the short-handed goal. Czechia finds themselves up a total of 3-1 so far in the hockey game. Glad to have you aboard here this evening, friends. We'll stay tuned here on the stream, but for right now I'm going to head upstairs, grab a quick bite to eat. I guess a reminder, I did work a full 8-hour shift today, so the holiday's up and over for this guy, and we'll get back to action here on the live stream in a matter of a few moments. Stay tuned. We're rocking, and we ain't rolling. Team Canada down 3-1 at the end of one period of play. Friends, dinner's not ready, so you get me through the intermission. Apologies for you for that. But, yeah, absolutely. Canada struggling here in the hockey game thus far. I hopefully see things get going here in this evening, as Team Canada's got to get things rolling here in this hockey game as this game goes on. As yeah, it's been a brutal go. Again, I guess for Team Canada, how much they miss Matthew Schaefer in this hockey game. Again, in the tournament following his injury against Latvia, that is a true thing to test, as well as losing Matthew Schaefer was an absolute dummying blow to Team Canada. I see your comment there, Blaine, about the 17-year-olds at the tournament. Again, for Team Canada, if they hadn't lost Matthew Schaefer, I think you see a much different tournament. Not much better, but again, hopefully a little bit more goal scoring. He had a dynamic set of hands on the blue line, kind of made up for not taking Zane Perek to the tournament, and kind of really made up for what was a Team Canadian blue line that's just a bunch of guys, really. I mean, who on the blue line has looked like anything for you? They don't allow Bo Akey enough time to be an impact player, despite being an impact player. And really, it's really just been a poor tournament here so far in this World Juniors for Team Canada, start to finish, really top to bottom. It's been not so good, and very bad for Team Canada this far. Friends, I want to say thank you for tuning in so far tonight. Again, Team Canada down 3-1 here in the hockey game, as it's been just bland, really. It's been really terrible so far. So we're hoping to see what happens here in this hockey game, as we're hoping a better effort. But again, not much really to write home about that is going to tell you that's going to happen here in this hockey game. As friends, we're up over 250 hours on the stream, so thank you for being aboard here in the first hour and 5 minutes here so far this evening. But yeah, it's been a pretty boring one so far, as Team Canada needs to get their butts in gear here. And again, as well, I guess to say here, Chris Johnson with the report for Team Canada. Canada allows a goal in the first minute and the last minute of the period. Now finds itself in danger of a second straight quarterfinal exit against Czechia at the World Juniors. So yeah, that's been a brutal start to the hockey game so far here in this one. And obviously we're looking for better results, but again, are they coming? Probably not, given what we've seen here in this hockey game. Is yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. And again, I don't know like what to fully blame. If it's coaching, if it's Hockey Canada management for the tournament, or necessarily how Hockey Canada has conducted themselves over here in this over in the past 5-6 years, kind of making the rule changes they have at the younger levels. And again, that if you want to talk about that penalty of the 5-minute major not being a 5-minute major, again, you just stop being dumb. You know, teach your kids how to hit. That's really what it comes down to for Hockey Canada. And Hockey Canada has failed the youth level for a lot of years. It's not just specific to the last 5 or 6 years, but specifically the rule changes within the last 5-6 years for Canadian hockey at the youth level has really started to lead up to the results that we're now seeing at the World Juniors, and the results we're seeing in the quality of Canadian content produced across the country when it comes to hockey. It's just, I really don't know what to tell you, but it really is a really ugly state when Team Canada is more focused on injury reduction. And I get it, you got to make sure the kids aren't getting hurt, but you also got to balance that with, you're an elite hockey country. You don't sacrifice being elite at something just so as, you know, a kid doesn't get a bump or a bruise on a Saturday afternoon at the old hockey rink. Again, you've lost your way if that's the concern, and it appears that is the concern for Hockey Canada. So I mean, at the end of the day, we started all the way back in the day with the red stop sign on the back of the jerseys, and now all of a sudden we're to the point where kids that are 14 years old still aren't hitting yet. And that is, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here as somebody who's watched hockey at all the levels over the past several years, and that is what is costing Team Canada the most, is the physicality. And I know the NHL's not nearly as physical as it used to be either, but you got to think these kids that have come up over the past 3-4 years at the NHL level from Canadian side just aren't as physical, and really no other country in the world was near as physical at hockey than we were, and that was truly one of our strongest suits when it comes to playing the game. And it's just pathetic what's really happened with the state of Canadian hockey. I mean, again, if you look disinterested out there, as some of you might be saying tonight, it really does come down to, where is that engagement level? Where is that throwing the hits? Well, the problem is our kids are too dumb when it comes to throwing hits, because they don't know how to, that it just costs you penalties anyway. So what's the point? And then all of a sudden, if there's no point in being physical and you already don't want to be there, then There just ain't going to be any positive results when it comes down to the hockey game at all at a competitive level for this Canadian squad. And it's very poor. Again, do you blame the coach for the kids just not having the level of heart, will, and determination that, maybe Canadian hockey players did 20 years ago? I don't know if that's the coach's fault. I think Dave Cameron's been a coach for a long time, and I don't think he instructed Hockey Canada on how to make the changes to the youth levels. So I don't know if I would necessarily blame him. And I'm sorry, the Junior B comment is out of touch as well, because back in my day, Junior B was rough and tumbly and beat you up, and you would talk about we're leaving with bruises. Every single night those boys would be leaving the hockey rink with bruises. So you want to talk about a sad state of hockey, Junior B nowadays as well. There is nothing that resembles anything more than, midget C out there most nights. So that is where we're at. As we're hoping for Team Canada to turn things around. But again, I think when you start hearing me get this heated on a broadcast, you understand things are not going well. But in good news, the NHL is going on tonight, and we're hoping things get going. As again, Bob McKenzie, I guess, quoted as saying, not even sure if that penalty against Baudouin was a penalty. Again, lead with the knee and see what happens at the international level. Have fun. Go out there and lead with your knee every game and see what happens at the international level. I guarantee you 10 times out of 10 at the IIHF levels, it will be a penalty. It's just simply the way it works. Whether as an NHL fan you want to call the IIHF soft or not, that's your choice, but it kind of comes down to it at the IIHF level. They make a lot of different rule decisions and a lot of different calls on the ice, and ultimately it sometimes leads to penalties that us fans here at the NHL aren't happy with, but it is what it is. And again, it comes down to just don't be dumb. Literally, don't be dumb and lead with your knee. And that's exactly what Baudouin did on that penalty. Again, tough luck. It happens. Game's heated, and you're going a million miles an hour out there, and stuff happens. But again, don't be crying about the result of what you did, because you don't understand the difference in it. And for Canada, 5-10 obviously cost them a power play goal against, and 2 goals inside the first minute and last minute of the hockey game's first period cost Team Canada what is now a 3-1 hockey game. So friends, tuning in aboard from Czechia, glad to have you along for the ride here this evening. It's been a brutal game from Team Canada, but the Czechs playing so far so smart, right? Making sure they, for the most part, stay out of the penalty box. 2 penalties in that first period, but again, when the penalties are 17-4 for Team Canada, you're doing something all right as the Czech side, and looking forward to seeing what happens here in this second period. Hopefully, maybe, Team Canada's just been waiting to get beat up in one period really bad and get going. Yeah, they did that against Team USA as well, but that was the third period. Let's not talk about that and move on as we get ready for this second period to begin here in a matter of a few moments. Again, friends, if you are looking for the semifinals action, I'm hoping to be home. Again, I'm kind of leading you on here. What you're hitting that subscribe button for tonight is if you want to stay tuned and be a part of the Edmonton Oilers squad that we got going on here on the channel. Of course, you see the Oilers jerseys behind me. That is the main time gig. Right now, I'll post up a link for you to actually go check out a video here of the Oilers coverage we do here on the channel yesterday. For those of you that are interested, talking about Nick Bjugstad rejoining the Edmonton Oilers as a possible trade candidate here come trade deadline. Hopefully for the Edmonton Oilers, again, a guy that could very well service the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs as he did 2 years ago against the Kings and Golden Knights. So hopefully for Team Canada, things get going here in this second period. But we're waiting to get things going as Dalton, Sam Dickinson, obviously a turnover to cost a goal against, and as well putting a puck in his own net. Tough game. Again, individually blaming these kids for losing a game. I know it's a necessarily Canadian thing to do, but I don't necessarily want to do that against these poor kids out here, because again, it's tough in the fact that these kids deserve better from their country than to be blamed for losing a tournament that realistically doesn't change the dial of anything international. It's just, again, as a nation, as a hockey organization that is Hockey Canada, you'd expect better. You'd expect better decision making, and you'd expect better development. And Team Canada here suffering from an organizational breakdown here in Team Canada over the past several years. Again, am I at all one to say exactly what's wrong? Probably not, but am I at all one to sit here and defend Hockey Canada's decision making over the past 5-6 years when it comes to the youth levels of hockey? No, not really. It's been poor to very poor at best. So we'll see where this one goes. So we're waiting for this hockey game's second period to get back underway, friends. We're just rolling along, kind of waiting for this one to get going. Again, I'm not used to doing the intermissions. Usually I go upstairs and eat, so we're just trying to wait for this game to get back underway and get going. So is there anything else we know? Team Canada, Team Canada's got nothing to lose here after losing Matthew Schaefer to allow Bo Akey a little bit more time on the ice. They've really stapled him to the bench most of this tournament. I think coming into the quarterfinals, the biggest part for Team Canada was they had allowed Bo Akey, and if you add in Team USA, Paul Fisher, had played a combined 33 minutes of ice time through 8 preliminary tournament games. That, again, for the Edmonton Oilers, you're not impressed with either hockey organization for that, and you're not impressed with the head coach. And I mean, if I'm an Oilers fan, I'm really upset with Dave Cameron when it comes to player deployment, specifically when it comes to Bo Akey. Just saying, again, if you're an Oilers fan, that's what you should be upset about this evening. So we're going to see what happens here this evening against the Czech squad. Is definitely Czech's game to lose here this evening. You would assume that if they come out with a dominant second period effort, they're going to kind of cakewalk home. Peter Skora scores his 4th goal of the tournament. Tanner Howe is first from Braden Yeager. And again, a guy like Tanner Howe, how is he only getting his first goal of the tournament here in the quarterfinals? That doesn't make any sense. Jacob Stankel gets the goal, and of course the goal at the end of the game there, kind of costly for Canada in that first period. We're hoping things turn around here in this second period play. Sorry, I don't even know where I'm at. Pardon me, I'm losing track of time and everything. Again, like I said, kind of need a little bit of a snack here. We'll hopefully get something at the end of this second period of play. But again, for Braden Yeager, getting that goal over to Tanner Howe, that was the lone bright spot for Canada in that second period. They just showed the highlight of Dickinson scoring the goal for Team Czechia, right, coming off the gloves. So there it is. As Brap can't find IIHF stream on ESPN Plus. I've been told it's on ESPN Plus or it's on Hulu or something. Again, I'm not in the United States, so I couldn't tell you anything about that. I don't have any of those streaming services. So we're back underway. The Czechs immediately fire a shot after getting inside the Canadian zone just 9 seconds into the hockey game. Here's Cowan across the line. Cowan looking back to the blue line, loading up Gibson through traffic. The shot, rebound, Molendyke fires it just far side and missed the net as it kind of dribbled through Harabel there. As this one coming back now near side. The shot fired around off the end wall as it'll be picked up again by the Czechs trying to fire it out of their zone. Canada now up to 10 shots in the hockey game. We're back and up and underway here as this comes back now to the middle of the ice as Cowan will turn it over. Here's across the line. The Czechs firing to the far side. It's going to go up over a stick and the Czechs lead in behind the Canadian net. Sale with the puck for Czechia as it'll be picked up by Cowan on the steal, and he'll flip out into the middle of the ice. We are inside already, a minute gone here in the second period of play. No whistle to begin this second period of play, so time wasting away here on Canada, who's again not really starting strong here in this second period of play, kind of still struggling to break the defensive line of the Czechs. Tanner Howe's dumped there in behind the play on the follow through. He ends up getting back to the puck quickly. Here as the Czechs turn it back inside their own zone, leading ahead. Czechia across the line will fire into the near side corner, bounced off the boards as Minio will bounce it there into the near side corner. Shot fired towards the net. Goes wide there from the Czechs, and now leading back the other way. Howe trying to get across the line, the Czech blue line. Stopping there as well, as this one will be bounced there off the wall, and still battling, continuing. Both teams fighting for this puck. The Czechs are the ones that lead it into the Canadian zone. It was off the linesman's leg, and I lost sight of the puck for a moment. Sikora battling there as Dickinson will go in behind the net for Team Canada, trying to lead out of the zone here. Puck onto the stick of Catton. Now here's Team Canada's best chance to get something going with the McKenna, Catton, and Pinelli line. The shot towards the middle of the ice bounces off a Czech player. Another shot from the blue line bounces off another block there right in front on the path to the net. 17:50 to go. We've rolled 2.5 minutes to begin this second period without a whistle. Battling there as Catton's dumped, and the Czechs will ultimately draw their own whistle. A penalty is an interference call against Catton, a cross check in the back. 17:43 to go here in this second period of play. 3-1 the goals for Czechia. They lead so far here in this second period, as maybe we have two players going to the box, as Catton appears also headed to the penalty box, and Dave Cameron still can't figure out why his players continue to take such dumb penalties here in this tournament, as Catton's headed to the box here in this one. As Catton goes in, he's cross-checked. And then what does he do to draw the penalty? I'm not entirely sure. Is maybe an embellishment call there for Team Canada. I mean, kind of went down easy, but it is what it is. Again, I mean, here's the problem Canada's set. In that U.S. game, they set a very bad reputation for themselves, and there you have it. Anytime you have a chance, the refs will make the call. Again, this is the IIHF. This is not Canadian, ref hockey like, sometimes the NHL and the OHL and the WHL and stuff is. So, again, these Canadian players have to be smarter than, and so far they've been dumber than, and that's why we continue to see penalties being taken, as this one's clamped down by Bo Akey. He gets dummied by the Czechs, and that's a solid hit, starting an attack here on net, towards the net directed, but it goes wide, and the shot again from the blue line is directed wide, as well as Bo Akey put himself in a bad position and got run over by the Czech player in the middle of the ice. 17:15 to go here in this second period of play. Bouncing along the boards, Cataford gets it free for Luchenko, middle of the ice, moved to the middle of the far side now, picking it up. Akey looking to make this play. He'll fire a shot towards the net, goes wide there as he gets at least a puck through traffic this time for Team Canada. Again to the far side, Akey trying to lead it there. He'll bounce the puck in behind the net. And this one will come back down near side. Battling as both teams coming around to the boards, as this will be picked up by Gauthier, fired out into the neutral zone. 16:40 to go in this second period to play. 3-1 the score for Czechia here as this game continues along. Winding down the time for Team Canada. I know 2 goals isn't a bunch, but on this Canadian squad it absolutely is, as Ritchie through the middle of the ice. Gibson near side for Cowan. Cowan will leave it along the boards for Ritchie over to the far side. He missed the pass. McKenna fires it through traffic. Can't get it through in front. Is this one. We'll get this one. We'll go back now to the far side. Battling there as Czechia fires the shot. Blocked in front. Jaeger picks it up as this will be led ahead by Canada onto the tape of Gavin McKenna. A nifty pass there by Easton Cowan. But again, Canada reluctant to shoot the puck. Deciding to pass it off was McKenna. And the Czechs immediately turn it over and get it back into the neutral zone as they get across the line to the far side. Dickinson gets walked around as this puck will battle behind the net. 15:45 to go as Jaeger goes down. No call up coming on that one. I mean, at this point, what isn't a call for these IHF refs? I know what to expect. That's why I'm not really complaining about it. As Cowan gets it back to the blue line, stolen away by Czechia. 15.5 minutes to go in the second period. Puck bounce to the far side. Whistles at a premium here in this second period. Back to the near side. The shot fired through traffic goes back down low as Czechia will pick it up and try to bounce it off the glass out into the neutral zone. Sikora fires it off the tape of Canadian back into the neutral zone and then bounced ultimately in the Czech zone. It goes. 15:08 picked up behind by Huschinsky. I'm not exactly sure what that last name is. Again, not all too familiar with the Czech roster here this evening. My apologies. Haven't had a chance to really catch him this tournament. Is playing down low. Luchenko loading up Howe off of a skate in front. It goes behind the net and then bounces on to the Czech sticks as this will be picked up. Backhanded there by Dickinson. Led ahead by Czechia down in behind the net. George leaves it now for Dickinson again. Behind the net is Team Canada will once again try to start out from the Canadian net. 14:30 to go here in this second period. Dickinson plays along the near side. Pinelli leads through the middle across the line. It's picked up. Pinelli backhands and quickly picked up there by Czechia, and they will fire back into the Canadian zone just like that. A quick pass across the line. This one goes back to the middle of the ice. To the far side it goes. Out into the neutral. 14:10 remaining here in this second period of play as Czechia continues to lead 3-1 and Canada uninterested in getting across the Czech line cleanly. Here's Minio picking up the puck after the save by George, trying to cut across. The tip there by the Czechs gets it out into the stands, and we will have a stoppage in play here as this one will be brutal as Canada for some reason just cannot find a way to get things going here in this second period. Czechia playing a mistake-free hockey game so far, and at some point something's got to turn here for Canada, or it will be done and dusted here in this hockey game very quickly. Again, friends, if you are just tuning in, welcome aboard. Glad to have you aboard again. Tomorrow night we go live for the Edmonton Oilers hockey game. You wonder why the jerseys behind me are all Edmonton Oilers jerseys. You wonder why I've got the flag on this thing. We do Oilers 24/7 here on the channel. It feels like the World Juniors just kind of gets mixed in. Again, if you want to hit that subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you haven't already left a like on the stream, that would be as well. Let me see what we've got going here, friends. Just quickly checking some watch time as well as we go here to see we're up over 390 hours on the stream so far. So thank you for spending your evening here with me as we continue along on the broadcast. Team Canada struggling, and they're showing the highlights here of Bo Akey getting absolutely dummied. If you're the Czech player, that is, you're yelling at Beaudoin. That's how you throw a hit, man. As Beaudoin kind of goes to the box and gets kicked out of the game for leading with his knee first. The Czechs, they'll learn how to get things done. And do we have a penalty upcoming to Ritchie? No, we don't. As Ritchie will come out of the face-off dot, rip a shot on Haravel. Save made. Canada's only really had 3-4 shots here in this second period so far. 13:44 to go in the second period. Puck to the far side boards inside the Canadian zone, down off the end wall. Ultimately, an icing call here against Team Canada as we continue in what has been a very poor effort from the Canadian squad thus far. The goaltending hasn't been there yet tonight. Three goals on 17 shots. Again, what do you expect George to do on some of those goals when players putting it in your own net? Players are turning pucks over high, stuff like that. It's just been a bad night to be a Canadian goaltender this evening at the World Junior level as this puck's won back at the blue line there by Team Canada. Here's now Price dishing it off, loading up Minio, scrambling it through traffic, just couldn't get it through cleanly. Puck bounces off the far side boards. Both teams looking for this puck as it comes back out in the neutral zone. Price back now near side for Minio. Minio leads up to Cowan. Cowan trying to get it across the line to McKenna. Turned over there by the Czechs, leading back the other way, dodging the hit from Minio and back into the near side corner. It comes as it's battled off the end wall. Both teams battling there for it, and McKenna comes away with it as they load up McKenna, Ritchie, and I believe Cowan again here at this mid-juncture of the hockey game. Ritchie across the line, driving through traffic. There's a stick on the ice. Cowan now near side with the puck from the pass from Ritchie. Loading up the one-timer, shot up over top of the net there by Team Canada. Back behind the net now. McKenna trying to lead away with the puck. He's been really a non-factor to the extent that we expected a lot out of him here at the World Juniors level this year, and it seems like maybe that will have to wait for his draft year next season as this puck back inside the Canadian zone. Czechia with the puck along the near side wing. 12:25 to go, poked off his stick there, and this one will be picked up now by Howe, the goal scorer for Team Canada thus far in a 3-1 deficit. As this one to the near side, loading up Martone, fires the shot, but it's blocked in front again by a good Czech effort, getting in the shooting lanes of Team Canada. Molendyk near side, picking it up, backhanding in Martone. Now Howe with the puck. He gets it stripped away by the Czech defense, and that's been the problem for Team Canada all hockey game. Just really coming across the line with the puck cleanly has been at a premium for Team Canada here this evening. 11:51 to go here in this second period to play, battling along the far side wall. Czechia trying to work this one out. They will get it into the neutral, and this will be picked up now by Price, ripped in to the Canadian zone, or into the Czech zone, and a shot from out wide goes up over top of the net as well, as this one's going back to the far side. And again, here's Boakey for Team Canada. He'll bounce it off the wall. He's starting to seem like he's getting some more shifts here, as this one will go back in the neutral zone, picking it up. Price sees it battled there with a high stick, and Team Canada will be whistled down. As we'll have a stoppage in play here, friends. Again, so far a 3-1 hockey game, and Team Canada, in terms of interest level in winning this hockey game, not really showing that thus far in this, what is now second period, midway through. 11:17 to go. Minio, the 89th overall pick by Vancouver in the 2023 third round. Face-off is Jet Luchenko's inside the Canadian zone with almost exactly half the hockey game remaining. So we're only really an hour and a half into the live stream thus far. Thank you for spending your evening with me. I do appreciate you hanging out. We'll have an extended post-game edition here tonight, win or lose for Team Canada, as we don't really have any plans considering the Edmonton Oilers aren't playing this evening. Shocked to find that out, as this one comes back, shot towards the net, and it goes to the far side as both teams battling here. 10:57 as the puck works across the line, battling into the zone here now. Across, puck back to the blue line. It's going to be picked off there by Canada. Czechia still somehow gets it through. Puck goes over the net, and it'll be picked up by Cataford here. Cataford across the line will fire into the near side. 10.5 minutes remaining here in this second period, as Port looking to make the play. And this one will still be standing behind the net, and Port will lead ahead. So this one will cross into the middle of the ice, still battling around behind the net now, as Gibson will come up with this puck. He's going to try and poke check this one forward. Nadeau will pick it up. Catton across the line, gets it now for Pinelli. Pinelli fires the shot off the skates of one of the players in front there for Czechia. Again, Canada challenged to get a puck on net cleanly. They've gone now 3 shots on net through 10 minutes here in this second period. And this Team Canada squad just absolutely struggling to do anything out there on the ice here in this second period. Absolutely. The thing is, too, Michael, I will point to that. Team Canada, as this one is an elimination game here at the quarterfinals, and they are struggling to produce a result so far through half a hockey game. It's been very bland hockey to watch, and so far very tough, as this one comes now back near side for Czechia. They're looking to get this puck out of the corner, back to the blue line now. Minio fires the shot off some skates and picked up there in the middle of the ice by Czechia, leading into the Canadian zone. 9:39, Boakey back on the ice, leading up through the middle of the ice. Cowan sees it go past him and fired back in by the Czechs, as this will be Minio again, leading out from behind his own net to the near side. Czechia along the near side boards, absorbs the hit, makes the play into the Canadian zone. Cowan turns the puck over yet again. He's been troublesome inside his own zone most of this tournament, as Minio gets away that time with a cross check. No call up to come in there to Canada on a very well deserved cross check, as this one Boakey across the line, playing there again. Cowan turns the puck over, and it'll be worked back into the middle of the ice. 9:04 as Canada's Dixon tries to get it going in a positive direction. Dickinson across the line, looking to make the play. He will skate it to the middle of the ice. Jagger, the backhand, saved by Harabel. And this one will go back to the blue line. The shot blocked in front again. And this one will now be worked to the far side. The shot towards George. He gloves it down. He'll play it off, and he has to interfere with the Czech player to make up for his mistake. But Canada able to live another day without allowing another goal. And this one will be worked now back down to the far side boards. Picked up there by Jagger. Jagger near side for Dickinson. Inside Canadian territory is leading ahead now. Bonk across the line. Haven't seen much of him this game, it feels like, as Dickinson. As we'll go back this way. Picked up now by Dickinson. As this will be picked up behind the net. 8:13 to go here in this second period. Puck is tipped into the zone here. This will come back now to the far side by Czechia, back into the blue line area and tipped out to center ice as Minio will get it going back now, picked up by Howe, and this will go to the far side as this is picked up now by Czechia inside their own end again. And this is watching paint dry in this second period, to be honest with you. Calling this has been bland across the line. Tip now to the far side boards. 7:42 to go here in the second period, and we will have a stoppage and play again, friends. If you are new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button here and sticking around for the Edmonton Oilers on the channel tomorrow night. Of course, if you didn't have a chance yet to go check out that Nick Bjugstad video, I will again reference you to there as Bjugstad to the Oilers. That would be definitely something to check out. As see what happens here on the channel this evening. As this is very tough hockey to watch so far. I really don't. It's just I don't really have words for it, I guess. It's been a very brutal hockey game thus far from the Canadian side. Really, the fight, the competitiveness, the effort level, none of that is at this point here in this game. So right now we're just waiting for Team Canada to either score the next goal or give up the next goal and give us direction in what we're doing with the rest of our evening, more or less. We've got just over 8 minutes to go in this second period, or 6 minutes, sorry. And so far, Team Canada has looked far from interested in this hockey game so far, as it's been very, very tough to watch this evening as we continue along on the broadcast. Friends, sorry, I wish I had better to say, but you really got to sit here and realize that Team Canada has put forward an effort that is very poor thus far and very uninspiring as a Canadian hockey fan here this evening, as this will be a face-off outside the far side blue line of the Czechs. 7:42 to go. Sorry, I was close. I thought 8 minutes. We were close to it. 7:42 to go here in the second period of play. 18-12. The shots on net for Czechia. This one has been tough to watch thus far, as this puck will come around near side now, picking up Price across the line, looking in on Team Canada, picked off there by the Czechs, and it'll come back into the zone here. Czechia is going to fire it off the end wall. 7:22 to go in the second period, picking up, leading ahead out of the zone there by Czechia, and now Price will fire back in as this goes in behind the net. 3-1 the score now for Czechia, as it has been since the start of the second period, bouncing off the end wall. Canada's still competing for this puck. At least there's a little bit of hard work for Canada, and Catton will come away with the puck at the top of the zone. Catton skating around another defender there, back to the blue line, but again, connecting a pass is just next to impossible for Team Canada here at this tournament, as this one will be back behind the net to the far side, near side, sorry. Camera fooled me there as Czechia clears the zone, as this one will be back now for Team Czechia into the Canadian zone. Just again, watching this is just, what are we doing out here? It has been shake your head hockey so far for Team Canada, as this one's back across the line. Shot is saved by Carter George, as the Czechs side's 19th shot of the game, and Team Canada's got to figure this out here in this second period late, or they are going to be in trouble going into that third period. They have yet to figure anything out this evening, friends, and they are at some point either going to get their poop in a group here in this late second period, early third period, or they are just going to straight up hand the Czechs a game from the start to finish. That first goal of the hockey game looks like it truly is going to be the difference. Despite Canada actually scoring a goal in the game, they really never got going, as this one comes down near side, back down low, as Gibson goes back behind his own net, bounces it off the glass, can't get it out of the zone. Luchenko flips up into the middle of the ice, now loading across for Martone, or sorry, Cataford. He can't do it, as this one comes to the far side. A shot there by Gauthier. Cataford gets going behind the Czech defense, and that just doesn't get going as this will be across the line, battling now near side into the corner of the Canadian zone, bounced off the glass, and Canada defends well. Like, that's one thing Canada's done well at this tournament is they've defended pretty well. In terms of goals given up, really not that much. They've had 2 shutouts in the tournament and 3 goals against Latvia, 4 goals against the States, 3 goals against Czechia. Really overall over the tournament, that's 10 goals against in 5 games so far. That's a 2.0 goals against average, not bad at all. But bad effort here again tonight, and it could very well cost you the tournament as a puck gets scrambled up by Hrabal. Team Czechia almost turns it over behind their own net, but this one goes back to the near side as this one comes back behind the Canadian net. 5:11 to go here in this second period of play. Dickinson battling there for the puck as this one goes off the end wall as both teams trying to come away with it. Czechia coming 5:01 to go here in this second period of play. Picked up by Czechia back behind the Canadian goal line. 19-12 the shots on goal here as this puck continues to roll around. Cowan battling, picked up now by Czechia across near side. The shot saved by Carter George. So we have a stoppage in play with about 5 minutes to go here in this second period of play, and Team Canada just really struggling here to get something productive done in this second period. It's been beat your head off a desk. I don't know what you want to say kind of hockey here for Team Canada, but it has not been their best at all, and at some point either get it going or get it going or you don't, because they're struggling here, and I'm getting tired of watching them struggle. But we'll keep going here in this what is now late second period of play. Again, if you're just joining the board, friends, Peter Sikora, Tanner Howe, Jakob Stankel, and Edward Sale have your goals in that first period of play, and now we sit here and get things going here in this second period of play. So far scoreless as we are waiting for hockey action to get back up underway here. Again, I will remind you, if you are new to the channel, friends, consider hitting that subscribe button. Stick around. I know some of you are chirping about the Edmonton Oilers, but again, the Oilers, I'm going to tell you, are going to be a lot of fun to watch the rest of the way home. And listening about Connor McDavid every day isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. So here we have it. Face off inside the Canadian zone, friends. I'm just going to quickly readjust here. Hands bunching up, whatever happens. Weird chair. This one goes back now into the middle of the ice, carrying forward. Tanner Howe trying to bust across the line for Canada. The shot fired towards the net, blocked in front there again by the Czechs. Puck now picked up by Jekko, and he'll fire up over top of the net, far side corner. Price taps it along the wall there. 4:22 to go here in this second period of play as Czechia battling along the wall is going to see it work there now by Tanner Howe to the far side as Canada tries to lift in. That puck will go up off the netting and out of play. So we have a stoppage in play here in this second play period for yet another face-off in which Team Canada trailing 3-1, 4:11 to go here in this second period of play. It's been tough to watch, and I mean realistically, it's been really tough to watch here in this second period. 3-1 the score for Czechia as the face-off. Catton sees it one back by the Canadian squad, and it'll be fired around the far side boards, picking it up back to the blue line as Canada will fire off the far side board. Shot fired towards the net. Hrabal, I mean, you're in tough to beat him on a good night, and he just simply swallowed that one up from the far side boards. No rebound right there as we'll have another stoppage in play here as we'll wait for this hockey game to get back underway. They are just taking their time, sweet dang time, getting this second period up and done with. 3:57 to go as Czechia is rolling along here so far, doing a good job stymieing the Canadian attack, stymieing the Canadian transition game. And this one will come back to the far side boards. 3:53 to go, around to the near side. Second period of play. And what I'll say about you guys chirping the Oilers for not winning much, again, as we know with the Canada squad, it doesn't take just talent to win a hockey game. You got to have that perfect amount of competitiveness and stuff too. The Oilers were close there last year, but again, that will to do the hard things when the going gets tough just needs to be earned, and kind of also beat India, and that's what Team Canada needs tonight, and that's what the Oilers needed against the Florida Panthers. As back behind the net now, Gibson. Pinelli looking behind, trying to get a goal. He stumbles on his skates. You don't see that often at this level of hockey. Shot fired off the outside post. Pinelli back to the blue line for Gibson. Leaves it there for Catton. Catton picks up at the blue line. Takes a massive hit. And again, there's a penalty on that play? What? How is there a penalty on that play to the Czechs? That was, unless there was a knee there that I missed. What in the... That was a very clean hit, it looked like. I mean... Again, see it in slow motion, but the Canadian fans high-fiving here. But yeah, that was, oh, I guess there was a knee there. That was hip knee right there on Catton. So is that going to be a 5 in a game here for the Czech player as he takes out Berkeley Catton? Okay, all right. The amount of, I'm really not sure where my filters are at tonight, but usually we're able to filter out the crazy content, but we're not quite doing that this evening. It's only a 2-minute power play for Team Canada, so again, they roll out the second a different looking unit here actually. Jaeger, Nadeau, and Martone alongside McKenna. No, there's McKenna. This is the second unit. Finally, they figure something out as this goes to the far side. Pass now to the middle. Here's McKenna, the shot. Again, why get excited? It's fought off as every other shot from McKenna has pretty much been fought off throughout the tournament. Pass to the near side. Nadeau fires it on to Hravel. And then coming in is Martone to try and animate something in the crease. But this will be stopped and play with 2:37 to go here in this second period of play as McKenna fired that shot again. He's just had some good shots through traffic, but just finding the back of the net has not necessarily been his skill set here at the tournament thus far, as this will be a stoppage and play for at least the next few seconds, as face-off will be to the right of Hravel, as this will be knocked down off the draw, picked up back by Nadeau to the blue line for Molendyk. Molendyk gets it going as this will be near side Jaeger. Jaeger looking through traffic will fire the shot. It's blocked in front again by the Czechs. The Canadian squad on the power play for the next minute 20. Shot through traffic. Canada scores, baby. There we go. I wish I could get excited about it, but we're back in it, as this one was a good point shot for Team Canada. Maybe a tip in front, and there you go. 3-2. Suddenly there's life late in this hockey game, and of course, leave it to the second unit to deliver. Martone appears to have gotten a tip on that, as the initial shot hit him. Nadeau back to the blue line, loaded up McKenna to the blue line for the one-timer, and then it hits off of Martone, and we've got a little bit of life here in this third period. And as much as I was sitting here oh, he tipped it off the stick, never mind. As much as I thought it was going to be a game where maybe we have to do a little bit of an extended post game to get where I think we're going tonight, we might just have some overtime or something this evening as well. It definitely never felt completely out of reach for Canada, but again, the way they were playing was not trending in a positive direction, and now it's what you do with it. These World Junior Games are swings of momentum, and you got to figure it out here. But Czechia immediately draws it back inside the Canadian zone. 2:13 to go here in the second period as Canada regathers the puck, as this will be fired back behind the net. Now all of a sudden Luchenko with a little jam in his drive here. Cataford as well back to the blue line. Canada maybe moving their boots a little bit here in this late second period following that power play, as this comes back down low for Gauthier. Gauthier trying to win it back along the boards. It's going to be worked out by Jacko. Jacko coming around near side. He'll fire it towards the net over top of George. Canada definitely looks like they've picked up the pace a little bit here. They're moving their feet a bit more than they were earlier in this second period of play, as this comes back below the net. Fibgar plays it around to the near side as it'll be picked up by Dickinson. He cut off the pass. Here's Gauthier looking to rip the shot through traffic. Can't do it. Bonk does. blocked in front again. The shot through traffic goes wide in the corner as here comes Howe back to the blue line. Bonk! Finally rips it. And he fires a good shot towards the net, but it goes up over top as this one's picked up by Howe at the blue line again. Howe and Martone, the goal scorers so far here in this one. As this one comes back now to the middle of the ice, Dickinson fires the shot. Save made there in front. And this one all of a sudden, momentum, as Mr. Doom saying, shifting for Canada. Puck is missed at the blue line. And Bonk will go all the way back inside his own zone. Dickinson retrieves 55 seconds to go. Puck across the line here. Too much of a fancy play there by Ritchie, who again has been guilty of a little bit too much here at times in this tournament as well. 46 seconds to go, near side pass. Dickinson has it cut off at the blue line there by the Czechs. To the far side it goes. As this one going back to the far side boards, 33 seconds. This will be picked up to the far side, picking up now in the neutral. Canada trying to get across the line, battling there. Martone's hauled down. 23 seconds to go in this second period play as intensity ratchets up. Here as this second period comes to an end. Canada one last chance at a rush here up ice. 14 seconds to go in the second period across the line. Here's McKenna down the left wing. McKenna drags to the middle. A shot, the one-timer. Rebound up over top of the net for Cal Ritchie as McKenna set up perfectly there in front. And this one will be a shot from the point, blocked in front by the Czechs again. And Canada all of a sudden comes alive with a big effort here late in this second period following the 3-2 goal. Friends, again, if you are new to the channel, I encourage you to subscribe. The second period up and over. We'll have more coverage here. Give me a moment, though. Talking that many miles a minute, get some hunger going. I'll be right back after eating dinner. Stay tuned. I will tell you, is there anything better in the world than a little bit of homemade mushroom gravy? And oh yeah, a little bit of potatoes on the side. You love to see it. Friends, we continue along here. Waiting for Team Canada to get back to action here in this, what will be third period of action. So far, not a great effort from Team Canada. They did wake up there late in this second period. Again, the goal scoring kind of got going there at the end of the period and gave Canada a little bit of life. But in terms of finishing this one off, if Czechia gets another goal or if they just kind of push early in the third period, I don't know exactly if I like Team Canada's chances. Again, for Team Canada, it's the special teams game so far tonight. Peter Skora scored the opening goal for the Czechs. Tanner Howe answered back with a shorthanded well on a 5-minute major penalty kill. Tanner Howe scores the goal that made it 1-1. Almost immediately, 2 minutes later, Jakub Stankel scores the goal on the power play, still on the 5-minute major. That ends up being the one that gives the Czechs the 2-1 lead. They would add a goal from Sale that made it then, 3-1, and they sat on that for almost an entire period until Porter Martone on the power play from Tanner Molendyk and Braden Yeager. And again, Braden Yeager picking up his only 2 assists of the tournament so far. Team Canada's captain has 2 assists in the tournament, and both of them coming against Team Czechia here in the quarterfinals. So make of that what you would. As we continue along, as good evening to you here, Gillis TV. Glad to have you aboard here this evening as we go to what is going to be an interesting finish to this hockey game. One would rest assured, as we have the third period upcoming here in about probably 15 minutes or so, as Team Canada looking to add the intrigue that was that Finland-Slovakia game to their game here this evening against the Czechs. Canada, 19 penalty minutes. Czechia, 8 of them. As Team Canada starting to get back into correct position here. 10 slot shots on net, 6 cycle chances, and 6 rush chances, either tied or exceeding the Czechs in all 3 categories. So that's promising. That's a better result. We like to see that a little bit more than necessarily what we had seen through that first period. But for Team Canada, something's got to happen here good. And if it doesn't, well, then we're going to have some problems here as this hockey game continues to go. As we will just quickly take a second here as well to check out a little bit of something in the background. We are rocking, we are rolling along. Gillis TV, you're not saying something that isn't unheard of, is that Team Canada second power play unit has been about their only life on the power play so far in this tournament. And thank goodness they are out there, because they have been producing results here for Team Canada so far in the tournament. And hopefully in this third period, may they turn up the result that wins the hockey game. That would be absolutely fantastic as well, as we're hoping to get things going here in this third period here shortly, or late, or rather, I guess, as we continue along on the broadcast. Friends, again, if you're just tuning in to find out who's scored tonight so far, Peter Sikora, Tanner Howe, Jacob Stankel, Edward Sale, and Porter Martone are the goal scorers so far in this evening's hockey game. Canada falling right now 3-2. The Czechs through 2 periods of play, but Canada a little bit of time on their side here after scoring a big goal in that second period late, and then shifting momentum quite substantially as the period went on, as the second period wore on. And I think too, for Team Canada, kind of making some saves here for Carter George in that second period was a little important as well. And we'll see if that ends up being the case in this second period for Team Canada though. As well, I think they went into the period with 19 or 17 penalty minutes and only ended up taking 2 minutes penalties. So yeah, I know 15 minutes accounts there for the 5-minute major. But again, if you're Team Canada, you know it's the IIHF. Just lay off, make the smart plays, don't be dumb, and allow your hockey skill to take over. And maybe that's the problem for Team Canada, that the skill level necessarily isn't there. Pure goal scoring talent, that is, compared to maybe some of the other facets of the game in which Team Canada kind of excels at time to time. So we're waiting for this hockey game to get back underway here in the second period intermission, friends. Stay tuned. I'm just going to quickly run a break to grab some water, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Let's continue along, friends, as we are waiting for this last period of play to get back underway between Team Canada and Team Czechia. It's been a tough game so far for Canada, but they got much better in that late second period. Maybe the hope that we've been waiting for so far in this hockey game. We'll see. Plenty to be decided yet, and obviously Czechia can still push back to start the third period and change everything for Canada once again. But we're waiting for this hockey game just to wrap up here, and then we'll go the distance on the post-game show here tonight. I would tell you this evening we'll see if we can go for a good little half hour following the post-game, just seeing if Canada, we can kind of rant and rave like we did in the first intermission and second period, or if we can kind of take home maybe a better effort and win a hockey game, maybe in overtime too, and really get this job going. So we're staying tuned. I'm going to quickly check social media here, see what's going on this evening, as here is that's basically Mark Spector taking on the physicality at the hockey game so far. A couple of compliments to Michael Harabel, and we're waiting for things to go here as after 40 minutes play, Team Canada down 3-2 in this hockey game, is waiting for things to obviously continue along here this evening. Hopefully Pardo Martone has drawn Canada within one, and we jump out quickly here in this third period to a 3-3 hockey game, and then all of a sudden all we have said is suddenly forgotten in this hockey game, as waiting here this evening. Do anything else to know? I don't really think there's anything else to know. I think we're good. I think we're flying, as I think everything with the Edmonton Oilers are good to go. So we will have a third period upcoming here in a matter of moments, friends. My apologies, just trying to comb social media, make sure we're not missing anything major here this evening. I think we are pretty well off for how things are going to transpire in this third period of at least now, because Canada's scored to make it 3-2. Every shot could end up being the tying goal. Every shot could be the 4-2 goal, at least until something either is or isn't, which is kind of the nice part of things, at least right now, for Team Canada and Team Czechia. So we're waiting for, like I said, what is now third period about to get underway here in a matter of moments, and then we'll be ready to go. Again, if you're just tuning in, wondering who's all scored tonight, Peter Sikora scored the opening goal for Team Czechia, and then obviously Tanner Howe scored the 1-1 goal that got things back in effort for Canada for a brief moment before Jacob Stankel scored the goal that made it 2-1 Czechia. Czechia would then score from Shale and basically take the 3-1 lead throughout most of the second period, walk it home until the 17:40 mark of the second period, in which Porter Martone scored the tying goal on a beautiful tip. And here we go, friends. We're about set to get things underway for this third period of play here as we keep things going in this now the third period of play. Gordon Miller, Mike Johnson again, friends. If you're looking for the hockey game, the best I got for you, if you're in Canada this evening, is to go to tsn.ca/live to go check that out. But unfortunately, if you're in the U.S., I think it's only available on the NHL Network. I know some people had said ESPN Plus and Hulu, but I'm hearing that isn't quite working out here. So we're hoping to see what happens here this evening for Team Canada in this third period. And again, if you're looking to watch the game live, tsn.ca/live, and go out and sign up for a month-long membership. You'll catch the rest of tonight's game. Hopefully Canada comes back and gets things going into the semifinals, and then you have one more game to catch at bare minimum, if not two, because I guess Canada would, if they end up in the semifinals, be guaranteed a spot at minimum in the bronze medal game. Friends from the Czech Republic, Czechia, whatever's, again, I struggle with that one all the time. I'm not sure fully it is Czechia here in the tournament. Welcome aboard, and Cal Ritchie loses the draw here in this third period. It's tipped in by the Czechs, and now starting away, Gavin McKenna alongside the top line. Easton Cowan and Cal Ritchie, puck fired around on the near side, battling along the boards. Ritchie gets it down low behind the net as this one goes to the far side, picked up by Czechia, worked back into the middle of the ice there, cut off by Cowan. A pass outstretching Ritchie. Now McKenna fires a shot off the tape of a Czech player, and here's that Canadian push from late in that second period, continuing to go here. Puck over to Gibson, loads up the shot, rebound up over top of the stick of Cal Ritchie, who steals it away, and then Cowan finally lays a big boom and actually makes sure it's clean contact. Love to see that. Ritchie trying to strip a puck, picked up there by Price, I believe, and shot in by Gibson, as that was a heck of a start to the first 50 seconds of the hockey game, as Canada continuing to come along the boards here. Hard inside the Czech zone, is battling for it. Tanner Howe picking the puck up near side. Jaeger shot off the skates of one of the players in front, whether it be Howe or Czech, I'm not 100% sure, as this goes along the end wall. 8:50 to go inside the Canadian zone, picking it up there. Price for Jaeger over to Martone, the newest goal scorer in the hockey game, tying pretty much everybody else on the Canadian roster with a goal here in this tournament, coming out of being scratched. Here's Stankel down the right side, the pass to the middle of the ice, cut off by Jaeger. Good defensive stick. Oh man, give me a sec. Just dying here, something clogging up the nasal cavities, as this one's punched back down low by the Czechs and picked up now by Jaeger. Jaeger's going to scoop it over to Pinelli. The shot fired towards the net, and as Price will pick it up with 18:10 to go here in this third period, directed in quickly across the line by Martone. This one will be back behind the net, and this will be Fibgar picking it up for Czechia. He will come back in the middle of the ice, cut off there by Bonk. Now across the line, Catton in on net, trying to pursue the middle of the ice with a pass, can't do it, and here's now Bonk again directing it into the corner. Pinelli gets stapled along the wall. Catton's able to pick it up, find room and fire, and a shot save made by Mr. Michael Harabel. 17:42 to go here in this third period of play, in Canada has all of a sudden woken up, I feel like, for the first time in the tournament here in this third period, late second as well, coming up with a couple of shifts here that get the puck going in a positive direction, and Ritchie came in a bounce of tying the hockey game, and Cowan, not leading with the knee in the play, is able to fire a good check that doesn't draw a penalty. You like to see that. And this one will be a face-off to the left of Harabel. 17:42 to go here in this third period of play. Puck's won back to the blue line by the Czechs. Batted there, nicely played by McKenna. Fired back into the zone off the tape of Harabel. Here's now near side as Czechia will load up, as this one will be back into the defensive zone. Canada beats the man in the whistle, and 17:28 to go. We'll have another stoppage and play for an icing call here for Canada as they load up now. The shot lead 21-20 on the board. 3-2 Czechia leads the hockey game. 5-on-5 had been a strength for Canada all tournament. Finally cracked for a couple of goals, and now finding themselves down because of it. The special teams, they'd be leading, but the 5-on-5, well, that's where we find the offense stalling out for Team Canada here against Czechia, as Peter will take the face-off for the Czechs. As this will be a face-off for Richie. Wins it back, directed to the point. It goes out of the zone as Price had pinched down to try and keep it in initially, as here's Cowan inside his own zone. 17-20 to go here in this third period of play, working around in the middle of the ice. Here's Cowan still leading up. He'll pass to the near side for Bo Akey, up through the middle. Akey cuts towards the benches and then fires it in to the near side. It comes from McKenna. Nice little area pass there off the boards by Bo Akey to get that freely to McKenna, and Richie turning and wheeling inside the Czech zone along the near side boards, drifts it back down to McKenna. McKenna looking to battle off the Czech, gets it going. The one-timer for Richie. Rebound McKenna. Gloved down by the keeper Harabel, and we'll have another stoppage in play as this one continues to get a little bit more and more interesting here in this, what is now middle stages of the third period, as Michael Harabel has made save after save after save here tonight, and Team Canada stymied on 20-plus shots so far to a 2-goal score. So that was a good-looking opportunity, except for Gibson jumping over top of the puck instead of trying to redirect it. Not entirely sure what he's doing there. As we are closing in on a face-off now for Braden Yeager with 16:49 to go here in this third period of play. Gibson can't handle it at the blue line. To the far side it goes. Puck is worked back down low by Martone in behind the goal line of the Czechs. Tied up there for a brief moment. Shot along the near side boards. Czechia out to the neutral zone, tipping it down with a high stick. And we will have a stoppage in pit play here with 16:30 to go here. As we'll continue to see what happens as Viberger, he's been an impactful defenseman for Team Czechia tonight. 3-2 in this middle stage of the third period. 16.5 to go. Friends, I don't know how much more gas I have left in the tank here. It's been a long day, and all of a sudden it's catching up with me here in this third period. Team Canada's got to get going here, as we'll have the face-off inside the Canadian zone. Jet Luchenko ready to rock and roll. The linesman talking things over with Team Canada here. As we'll have Luchenko to the face-off dot. Canada has exactly the last 11 shots in the hockey game. Shots are now 23-20 Canada. They've been pushing here since the late last 2.5 minutes of the second period. Across the line, Gauthier trying to drag back in front, winning a battle is Luchenko to the near side boards. He'll carry back to the blue line with a pass, and that ultimately escapes Gibson again. So here's Mullendijk behind his own net to the near side. Gibson will look to make the pass out from behind his own net. 16:04 to go in the third period. Puck through the middle, tipped across the blue line. Here comes the Czech side into the corner. Galvis, a smart play, got it to the area, and now Canada, another check into the boards there, as Canada's starting to throw the hits here against Czechia, a little bit by little bit by little bit more. And this one will be tied up in the middle slot area inside the Czech zone. Nice play to the far side boards, picking it up. Shot by Minio off the pads of Harabel, and this puck will continue to bounce. 15:35 to go. Picked up now by Catton. Backhanded to the far side corner it goes, as this one will be Galvis again with 15.5 to go here in this third period to play. Galvis looking to get things going, but he can't seem to get out from behind his own net. It's a good play by Catton, keeps him pinned for a little bit. 15:14 to go here in this third period. Puck's tipped into the Canadian zone by the Czechs, and here's now a play by Pinelli down low into the Czech zone. Puck goes around to the far side boards, back to the blue line now. Bonk with a smart backhanded play to keep the zone. Pinelli winds up the one-timer, missing wide. And this one will now come back inside the Canadian zone off the shot all the way back down, as this will be now Dickinson to the near side. Bonk with the puck, as this one will go across the line, battling here, trying to get this going. It goes now near side, as this one goes to the behind the net. Here's Pinelli back to the middle of the ice. Here's now Bonk to the far side. The shot by Minio through traffic, as this one will go back for an opportunity for the Czech side to get across the Canadian zone. 14:22 to go here in the third period of play. Picking up the puck now is McKenna with Ritchie helping. Here's the shot from Pinelli up high on Harabel, and he holds on to it for dear life. And the stoppage in play will keep things rolling here with the third period absolutely starting to light up for Canada. 26 shots. What is that now? The last 14 straight shots here for Canada against the Czech side as Pinelli fires a shot and just can't get this going. So Harabel trying to get things rolling, but this is where Canada has to come up clutch. They have to find a way to score a 5-on-5 goal in this hockey game. They've scored shorthanded. They've scored on the power play. But so far, Michael Harabel at 5-on-5 remains unbeaten. Ritchie, the face-off inside the offensive zone, wins it back to Minio. Minio looking to walk the line, fires the shot through traffic. Puck goes up and over top of the net. So with 14:07 to go here in this third period, we'll have another stoppage in play. Not yet a TV timeout, but my goodness, the Canada squad continues little by little to come alive here in this third period. It's been about 8.5 minutes straight of domination for Team Canada inside the Czech zone. The shot fired by Ritchie off a leg. Czechia picks up the puck in the corner, bouncing it back to the blue line, and this one will come back to now to the far side. Pass is picked up as it's walked now by Ritchie across the line, dumping it there for McKenna. McKenna back to the far side blue line, near side. Boakey fakes the shot, drifts to the middle of the ice, and it's picked off now by Czechia. Back the other way. The shot is drifted out of the zone there quickly by Carter George. Ritchie to the middle of the ice as Cowan across the line, and McKenna can't compute that pass. 13:32 to go as the puck's back in the neutral as Canada has Czechia back on their heels. Here's McKenna. The shot loads up, misses the near side corner, and it's picked up now by the Canadian attack as Gibson will fire back in to the far side. I thought that was Bonk, and then I saw that it was actually a left-hand shot on the far side as this is picked up to the middle of the ice as George scrambled that puck. It hit him, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to cover it. Now picking it up, Yager to the far side. Near side shot passed again off by Tanner Howe. And that's a misfortunate play there. Is definitely a nice play. As oh boy, that just got nasty into the corner. As a big hit there, Molendyk just blew up the Czech player. But I don't know what happened there as both of them tangled up and went very crazily into the end wall as this will be Czechia loading up through the middle, cut off by Canada again. And all of a sudden, Canada is playing exactly how they should in this game, pressing full throttle. Here's Bonk down the right wing. The shot, glove hand save. There's a player down in the crease. That's how. As this one will be picked up to the near side, battling across the line as Team Canada gets it back inside their own end as Czechia rocks around as Zidlitki plays it around the near side boards, battling off his Koss. Koss will leave it there for another attacker for the Czech side. As this one goes around the boards, trying to battle it there as Czechia's going to have it tipped back down low. Koss sees it behind the net. 9-0 the shots on goal here in this third period so far as Team Canada continues to lead the way and win another battle. Pinelli down low won the battle now near side, picking it up. Price tip play in front, can't get it through cleanly. And here comes Zidlitki for the Czech side again. Picking it up is at the blue line. Price as he will roll up another attack, this time for Nadeau. Nadeau back to the blue line for Team Canada. As this one shot fired towards the net goes off of a couple of bounces wide of the net. And this one will be back out to the neutral zone. 11:25 to go here in this third period of play. Far side pass. Czechia able to cut it off in the neutral zone. Hammer it back down to George. And this will be Minio picking it up here in this his own end. 11-11, I guess, make a wish here as this puck now, Caden Price over to Minio, pass up the near side boards across the line. Cataford battling to try and come up with it. It'll be knocked out to the neutral zone here as Stankel gets it back to the blue line tie, and that'll be fired in by Jet Luchenko. 10:53 to go as Gauthier lands a check and makes sure he feels it as this one comes back inside the Canadian zone as George will leave it there for the defender Gibson. Gibson now near side for Luchenko, darting up the ice. Luchenko across the line looking to pass this puck off. He'll drive deep into the zone. Cut there by the Czech defense on a second layer, and it'll be poke checked and backhanded back to the near side blue line as it's passed through the neutral zone a couple times as Canada able to steal it away. Here's Gauthier down the right wing, tip in front, puck ends up in the net. Cataford immediately has it waved off with 10:21 to go here in this third period. The referee waves it off immediately, as he should. That puck was definitely a little bit of goaltender interference there from the Canadian side, but a good effort nonetheless by Canada to finally find a puck in the middle of the ice and then drive the net. As I don't know, as maybe we will have a review on this goal. No one knows for sure. But friends, welcome aboard. If you're just tuning in, thank you for being here again. Tomorrow night, I want you back here for the Edmonton Oilers versus the Anaheim Ducks, a rematch of a few days ago. Love to have you aboard for the live stream if you'd be willing to hang out. So definitely consider hitting that subscribe button here. And with that as well, definitely take a second to take a peek at that top video there at the top of the stream, as I will actually unpin that message and hit that. There we go. Nope, we need to edit that message if possible. We cannot. Let's try that again. Sorry, my apologies. As we'll go there and pin that. There we go. Good to go. As there you have it, friends. Team Canada in this third period has come alive at long last here in this tournament. They're definitely looking more like the team we know and love at the World Juniors, but they find themselves down to a similar score against the Czechs here, down what is now 3-2 following the goal late in that second period, which has started a Team Canada attack. Unlike most of what we've seen in this tournament thus far, Team Canada has been on it from the go. As Team Canada scored the goal, it's being reviewed now, and we're going to have the referee make a decision here as no goal, so it will stand up. No goal for Team Canada. Tough break there, as Matthew Cataford would have loved to see that one go to the back of the net and count as the equalizing marker, as Cataford came in. I think if he didn't lay the shoulder into the Czech goaltender, maybe it would have stood up if he would have just allowed contact to push him in. But Cataford can't tie the game for Canada, so there you have it. We're going to have a breakdown here, and now what do we have? The referee talking things over again on the comms. And I don't know if Canada necessarily challenged that goal or what, as Canada has now actually initiated a coach's challenge here. So we're going to have another opportunity to review this goal one more time and see what happens here, as this one will be an opportunity to review a good pass by Gauthier in the middle of the net. And I don't know, maybe it is just incidental contact with the netminder because of being pushed in by Canada, but it looks like Cataford definitely kind of let in with the shoulder. The net was not fully off before the puck crossed the net. You can see the pegs still in the hole before it goes off, so that's where it's at, as you kind of see this puck bounce across the net, and yeah, the peg doesn't come out before the puck crosses the line, so the net's not off by any definition. But how this one gets ruled is anyone's guess here in this one. Again, coaches' challenges usually at the NHL level are a guessing game at best, and this one at the IIHF level, this one will be interesting. So yeah, this is where we'll see what happens here, is we'll have the referees determine things here, and the call on the ice, still no goal. So coach's challenge looks like Canada will go to the penalty kill, as Canadian fans cannot believe it. Dave Cameron does something for his Canadian squad by actually trying to make a bold call, trying to do something bold for the first time all tournament, and it's no goal there, as the referee was emphatic it wasn't. So 10:21 to go here in this third period of play, and we will have a face-off now inside the Canadian zone on a penalty kill. So you have an opportunity to get things going here on the penalty kill. 3-2 the goals stand for Czechs, as it's a 1-for-3 effort for them so far on the power play. Puck goes around to the far side, battling there. Howe trying to free this puck loose as Jaeger gets it going along the wall, as this one will be going off the wall. Minute 43 to go for the delay of game penalty for Team Canada. 10 minutes remain in the hockey game. As this one will be punched? No, it'll actually be punched forward by the Czechs, and another hard hit along the boards there as Galvis took a rough ride for Czechia. As this one to the near side, back to the blue line. Czechia to the far side, loading up the attack. Shot up over top of the net. 9:44 to go here in this third period to play. Puck to the far side. The shot loads up into the far side corner. 9.5 minutes continues to be the time as things seem to wind away from Team Canada, as this one goes down all the way to the Czech zone. A minute 05 here in this third period to play as Czechia loading up. Galvis gets it going to the near side. Sikora across the line. Sikora pass to the middle, hits George, bounces away. Now Bonk goes back to the blue line. 50 seconds to go here as this puck comes down low to Harabel inside his own zone. This one will be picked up by the Czechs. 9:02 to go here in this third period of play. Carried across the line now to the far side. Both teams set up posture inside the Canadian zone. Inside the last 9 minutes, we're in for a heck of a barn burner here to finish out this game, I would say, as the puck to the near side. Czechia still without a shot on this power play and a shot in this period. Nothing in terms of that, as this one goes back along the near side boards. Shot to the blue line. Save made there by George. Finally, the first shot of the period by Czechia. Battling along the boards. Bonk. Battling. Picking up now. Looking for it. Ritchie trying to draw it out as Czechia gets it going. And we have a stoppage in play. I'm not sure what that gets going here. But we're going to have a penalty upcoming. I'm not sure to Team Canada or what. As, yeah. We'll have stoppage in play with 8:25 to go here in this third period, as it looks like we're going to have a face-off outside of the zone. Okay, it looked like the referee was signaling penalty, but I don't know. Again, listening without sound is kind of a tough go sometimes, especially when you only have TV angles to go off of, but we'll survive either which way. And here's the face-off outside the Canadian line. Back to the far side it goes. The shot fired in by the Czechs here as it comes down near side, picking it up. Battle there along the wall was Price, and now Catton's getting going. One shot on the power play for the Czechs, so Canada survives just fine. And I'm going to tell you, we're going to have an absolute insane finish if we get overtime in a shootout in tonight's action. Carrying forward, Cowan will fire up over top of the net into the corner. This one goes around to the far side. Here's Minio picking this puck up with less than 8 minutes to go inside his own zone. 3-2 the goals stand for the Czechs as this one comes back to the near side across the line. It's going to be battled there by McKenna. Down low to Catton. Puck to the near side, and Cowan just can't jam it home, as now it's Cowan, Catton, and McKenna out there as a line, as I think they've finally figured out Ritchie might not be the guy to get it done offensively here for Team Canada to finish out this tournament. Is coming back the other way. Skora will draw a tripping call, and we will have a slashing call, or I don't know what we're going to have. I think we're going to have two penalties here as Sikora draws the dive. So finally Sikora gets taxed for a dive here in this game as he goes to, okay, I don't know what, again, I don't listen with sound, so I think we've got two penalties coming up. But that's the thing, again, friends, if you're going to get upset about penalties here in the IIHF, I don't think you've learned your lesson over the past several decades, as the IIHF is definitely a different animal than the NHL or any level of hockey in North America, and that's fine and dandy. We'll survive either which way. But friends, thank you so much for being aboard here this evening. Team Canada, it's win, keep going, lose, they're out. That is correct, as we get set up. And again, friends, tomorrow, as we take a day off from the World Juniors, I'd love to have you join me here on Dolynny TV for the Edmonton Oilers live stream. That'll be rocking and rolling around 7 o'clock. Of course, that's why all the jerseys and the flag there is hanging behind me. So definitely feel free to drop that subscription, and obviously it's free here, so definitely make sure to do that and hang out here on the live stream. So we are just waiting for this game to get back up and underway following whatever just happened. I'm not sure if it was penalties or whatever, but we'll see obviously what is going to come out of it, as Sikora does get charged with the dive and Team Canada the trip. So there you have it. one dive on our way and then one dive their way. So at least it's kind of equaling out here a little bit for Team Canada in this now the third period, as we're hoping this Canada squad can find a way to tie this hockey game. I believe it's 4-on-4, 5-on-5. I don't know what it's going to be. The IIHF confuses the heck out of me, as this will be a chance off the face-off back behind the Canadian net. 7:20 to go here in this third period. Puck's picked up by the Czechs inside the neutral zone. We've got a heck of a finish here upcoming as this puck comes back down low to George. George will leave it there for Price. 3-2 the goals. Czechia leads. This one will be punched through the neutral zone. No icing on that play, as this one comes back now, picked up near side, back picked by the Canadian or the Czechian side. They'll be tapping it back out into the Canadian zone. Bonk will pick it up near side. He'll fire up the wall and picked up there by Martone, as it'll go across to the far side, as Dickinson will get this one going to the near side inside the Czech zone here, as both teams just kind of scrambling things up here, as this will be along the end wall, as Dvorak will get a move in there for Czechia. Turnover at the blue line, a shot towards the net by Molendyk never ends up going there, as it goes into the far side corner, and it's picked up now by McKenna, who's back on the ice after serving that too many men call, as here's Akey battling around behind the net here, as Molendyk will get this one going back behind his own net. 6:10 to go here in this third period of play. Cutting up through the middle is Ritchie. It's picked off his stick. Akey's able to make a solid play to turn him back. Here's the shot from distance, out by the Czechs behind the net now, off the block shot by Canada. Now to the blue line it goes, as they look to make the shot from the blue line. And how about this? McKenna's going to spring. Here's on net. Cowan for the tie. Shot fired wide with 5:47 to go. McKenna sees it go now near side, as this one will be worked back inside the Canadian zone, as this will be back out to the neutral zone now. Cowan to the far side, flipped in there by Czechia, as they'll try and get across the Canadian line. Turned back by McKenna once more, and this will be 5:26 to go here in this third period to play. McKenna across the line, working in and cutting into the corner quick. I mean, McKenna moved that puck quick, and then he just got absolutely demolished by the Czechs. The play will continue, as this will go to the far side, picking it up. The shot from the Czechs, the save made, and we have a stoppage in play, as Gavin McKenna just got absolutely leveled into the boards. No call upcoming. 5:09 to go here in this third period of play, and we'll have a stoppage as Canada and Czechia take one of, if not the final, TV timeout here in this, well, third period of play. So we're waiting for this game to get going here, as was definitely some kind of head contact there on McKenna Troy. I would agree with you on that. I don't know if the referee just kind of saw the play develop into the boards and really missed that. I don't know what's going on there, but that was definitely a hard run into the boards there for sure for McKenna, and I don't know if we will see him back in action the rest of the night after that. He did not get up all too quick in that third period. So friends, we're moving along here this evening. We're just about to the conclusion of the hockey game. Team Canada desperately trying to cling to what is right now a 3-2 deficit against the Czechs, as they try to tie this hockey game late and give us the drama that very well might produce overtime, shootout, some kind of something here late against a Czechia squad that has been pretty dang stellar all evening. Appreciate you hanging out this evening. We are now up over 900 hours of you guys watching, so appreciate that. We've been live for just over 2.5 hours here, so hopefully Canada can get something going, but we're going to see this one as that's what happened there, as McKenna blew an edge and went into the board, so ultimately that's why they didn't call that a penalty there for Team Czechia. 5 minutes or less remaining here in this third period, as the puck's tapped out in the neutral zone. 4:55 to go here, as Team Canada back the other way. Catton across the line will go into the corner. This one battling back to the blue line it comes, as this will work across the line. Czechia fires it in to the near side. 4:41 to go here in this third period of play. Picked up by Molendyk. Molendyk into the corner, battled off the wall there by Czechia, and the puck frees up in the middle of the ice. And now Nadeau will go to the far side and try to get things loaded up here for a Team Canada attack. Pinelli Nadeau in on net. Pinelli right in front, tap that puck free. Here's the shot through traffic, blocked again by the Czechs, who have an incredible amount of block shots. Nadeau scores! Team Canada, oh baby! Right back there, tie hockey game, just like that. A puck in front, and Nadeau taps it home, and that will even this one up, friends. 4:18 to go in the third period. Canada was clinging to the deficit all third period, just trying to get back into it, and just like that, we found a way. Just when you thought this Team Canadian squad had given up there after that first period of play, late in that second, life came, and my goodness, has it ever come for Canada here over the past about 20 minutes or so of play. Is tapping it home. Nadeau gets it going on the shot from Pinelli, and right there, just an unreal effort to just shovel it 5-hole. Team Canada ties the hockey game 3-3, and now, oh boy, do we have late dramatics here in tonight's action. Canada versus Czechia comes down to the last 4 minutes of regulation, as we will see what happens here in this one. As 4:18 to go, 30 shots for Canada. They have tied the hockey game. The shot fired in by Czechia to the far side boards, tapped out into the neutral zone. Canada just has to avoid that late goal, as this one comes back out now for Carter George. Play there by Dickinson up along the boards, will trickle out to Howe. Howe takes a battle there, as here's Yager. Yager looking to go. By the way, Canada just scored 5-on-5. The blast from the blue line. The rebound, Bonk fires it just wide, and it'll be picked up by Yager at the far side blue line. The shot through traffic goes wide again. Bonk fires it up over top of the net. Glove down by Martone. Martone over to Yager. Backhand shovel off the shoulder of Harabel, off the stick now, back to the blue line it goes. There's a loose stick inside the Czech zone. Sears rushing onto the ice. The shot by Canada blocked in front by the Czechs. What a gutsy block there, as this puck's picked up now by Molendyk. Molendyk fires the shot. Another block by the Czechs. Molendyk has the Czech player diving all over the ice, as Yager through traffic drags past one, fires through two. Shot kicked out by the Czech player in front, as this one will get going now, as we have 3:09 to go in this third period of play. Puck to the near side. Czechia inside their own zone, trying to clear out. Molendyk tying the puck up there. Ritchie gets it into the corner. Ritchie with Cowan as an option behind the net. Cowan trying to go back to Ritchie, can't get it free to him. Battling now, it comes to the free boards for McKenna. Back down low to Ritchie. 2:49 to go in the third period, as Canada empties the tank late here in the hockey game. Trying to play it right in front was McKenna. Price ties it up, and it will be coming back to Gibson here inside the Canadian zone. Czechia bounces it back out to the neutral. Koss takes a hard hit there at the blue line. Big time hit. He led with the knee, but no penalty upcoming against Canada, or is there? As we'll have a stoppage in play, and yes indeed, we will have a penalty against Canada, as Gibson cannot believe it. I was going to say, there was no way he got away with that without taking a penalty. 2:27 to go here in this third period of play. It's 3-3. And Gibson is headed to the box here for Canada late in this third period. So, tough turn of events. Canada was building all the momentum late, and then Gibson again leads with the knee. And again, this Canadian squad, when it comes to hitting, why they're leading with the knee when they go to throw the shoulder check, and one is mystified by that, and it's been a big problem. We already talked about that here on the live stream tonight. And again, leading with that knee, I just don't understand it. Again, if you learned how to hit in minor hockey before you got to junior, you should have eliminated that out of your game. And we will have a stoppage in play for a Czech penalty that might very well be a 5-minute major. It's under review. Friends, welcome aboard to Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for being aboard here this evening. Glad to have you along for the ride again. If you are new to the channel, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow night to make that Edmonton Oilers game. The Oilers are in action against the Anaheim Ducks. That's what this whole channel is usually about. Love to have you aboard for that here tomorrow night. But for right now, we got things to go. Is tough go there for Team Canada. Is leading in there with the knee again was Gibson. It's a similar penalty to that Beaudoin penalty. You see how he settles up the knee. It goes right into the midsection of the thigh, takes down the player. And Team Canada cannot believe they have been penalized again here late in action. as we will have a decision probably made here in the next few seconds, and the referees are going to come out of the box and make their call on the hockey game with 2:27 to go. This is where everything comes up on this one, as we will have an announcement here as we have a kneeing call against Gibson for kneeing, and I believe that will boot him out of the game. I think kneeing is an automatic ejection for anybody. No, actually it's just going to be 2 minutes. Okay, never mind. I don't know. The IIHF makes up new rules every which way, so I couldn't tell you what's going on, but it will be a penalty against Team Canada. And again, like I said, leading with that knee is only going to lead to bad problems for this Team Canada squad at the World Juniors. And right now, right here, it has. So we have a face-off inside the Canadian zone. Immediately, they are able to gather the puck off the face-off, clear down the length of the ice to Hrabel. Chasing after it is Tanner Howe, who's already scored a short-handed goal, as this one's going to be picked up by Howe as it's worked out by Czechia. 2:09 to go here in this one, as this one will be down in the near side corner. Bonk ties up the men along the boards there. Two attackers for Czechia back to the far side. They're able to make the pass cleanly here at the top of the blue line. Near side dots as Czechia are trying to get things rolling around the Canadian zone. Canada keeping that tight box in front of the net. There's a Czech player all alone in front of the crease of Carter George, by the way, as this one to the far side. The shot through traffic. Rebound is steered away by Bonk at the last second, as this puck comes all the way down to Hrabel. $1:36 to go here in this third period of play. Picked up. Galvis has got the puck. My goodness, do I hope we are headed to overtime here, as across the line to the far side. Czechia enters the Canadian zone. Now Molendyke looking to backhand this one. Behind for Price to the far side it goes. Price is able to regather and bounce it out of the zone. 50 seconds remain here in this power play for Czechia. $1:12 to go in the third period of play, as Galvis across the line will lead in and chip it into the near side corner. Actually, that's the score, pardon me, for Czechia as it goes along the end wall. Both teams tie that puck up. 33 seconds remain in the power play for Czechia. 30 seconds as clock time winds down. 53 seconds to go in the third period. Back to the blue line. The one-timer through traffic. Carter George the save for Team Canada. Again, he's now had 21 in the game. Back to the blue line. The one-timer blocked in front by Gauthier. The near side one-timer. Czechia scores. That's got to gut you. Czechia scores just like that on the one-timer near side. 39.4 seconds. And Czechia comes alive in the stands. Dzeko, I believe, scored the goal near side. And what an opportunity there, as the block there and then a passing lane opens up and Dzeko wires it home on the near side for Team Czechia, as it's 4-3 for the Czechs here late in the hockey game under the blocker of George. We will have an opportunity to see what this third period winds down to for Canada. All hope not quite lost yet. You got to remember, Canada a chance still with 30 some odd seconds to pull the goalie and tie the hockey game, but hope running thin all hockey game. How much does Canada have left in the tank? The shot fired in by the Czechs to the far side. It's cut off by George. He'll bounce around the far side boards. Czechia picks up the puck. Juracek the assist on the Dzeko marker with 27 seconds to go. Back to the far side blue line. Back down it goes, as here's McKenna battling there along the wall. He'll two-hand the man into the back as Team Canada running out of time. Back in front, George makes the save with 14.7. He keeps the play alive. Puck is flipped out into the neutral zone here across the line. Picking it up, Cowan, and Team Canada is offside at the line with 7.8 seconds to go in this third period of play. And Team Canada about to lose the tournament due to discipline. As they did, they lost the group due to discipline. Czechia absolutely erupted on their bench, as they rightfully should have, as that is a tough blow for the Canadian squad with just a few seconds left in the hockey game. A face-off outside the Czech line here in this one. And Canada, Gibson absolutely gutted. And this will be an opportunity now for one last face-off with 7.8 seconds to go. 31 The face-off is inside the Canadian zone. And there we go. This is going to be picked up now by Canada with 5 seconds to go. The puck bounced along the boards. Catton can't pick it up. An elimination at the hands of the Czechs for the second year in a row in the quarterfinals. This Canadian squad, friends, we knew it was not a good one. Did we know it was this bad? Some people from the start of it would have said yes. But you got to feel for Gibson there taking the late penalty. You got to feel for this whole Canadian squad absolutely dummying themselves over the last 2 games with dumb penalties. And you know what? End of the day, the Czechs take home the victory. A well-earned, hard-earned victory for the Czechs here this evening. And there you have it. A victory in which Team Czechia will move on to face the U.S. in the quarterfinals. It'll be Sweden, Finland in the semis, and it'll be Sweden, Finland in the semis as well. So the undisciplined play for Team Canada hands, as Troy said, the game away as it did against the USA. It was just, again, Team Canada could not contain themselves in what was a very poor effort, staying out of the penalty box start to finish in this tournament. Quite honestly, just a tough goal for the Canadian side, but that is not to take away anything from the Czechs, who absolutely earned a victory tonight. Again, what they did this evening against Canada is absolutely unreal. Battling through. They could have very well lost their composure. 2 guys taking knees in this hockey game, but they keep their battle and their intensity up. And Hrabal, who was absolutely fantastic for Team Czechia so far through the tournament, takes home another victory to move on to the semifinals against the U.S. A hard, well-earned victory there for Hrabal. And now this will be interesting to see who the players of the tournament are for Team Canada. Again, still a very disappointing effort here for Canada. One that was not an enjoyable effort to watch at all throughout this entire tournament. It was very tough to watch from start to finish, as scoring 5-on-5 goals just wasn't in the cards for Team Canada. Very overall rough, as we're just waiting to close this one out. Carter George, of course, he's got to be one of, if not the only player of the tournament for Team Canada, is Tanner Howe, the player of the game, I believe, for Canada here this evening. He will come receive the customary paddle here in this hockey game, and then we will have the players of the tournament for Team Canada as well, following the player for Czechia, which I believe will likely be one Michael Hrabal, but I assume Hrabal's probably already won that, so somebody else will be picked from the Czech side. But Hrabal, what an unreal effort, as picking it up here is Dzeko, I believe, scoring the game-winning goal. Friends, we of course will have the Four Nations Cup, promise you that, as Adam Dzeko takes home player of the tournament for Team Czechia, or player of the game for Team Czechia, as we wait for this player of the tournament, and then that will pretty much up and do it here on the live stream this evening. It is Team Canada, start to finish, everything was pretty much wrong with this squad. The decision making, the way the lines were configured by the coaching staff, the unwillingness to change things when they didn't want to get things going, but it was very much so Team Canada just undisciplined throughout the tournament, cost themselves the tournament against the U.S., cost themselves the tournament against the Czechs, and ultimately, yeah, you know what, you should have probably won the game against Latvia, but again, that is to say, losing Matthew Schaefer was a very huge blow to this Canadian squad. Schaefer was absolutely going to be an unbelievable player. Again, I don't know if you lose to Latvia if you have Schaefer. I doubt it's 4-1 if you play the U.S. Molendyk, one of the players of the tournament. Braden Yeager as well, another player of the tournament for Team Canada. That says a lot, as Braden Yeager really only picked up a goal and 2 assists in this game or in this tournament. But here you have it as well. Carter George, the player that definitely should be of the tournament for Team Canada. An unreal effort in net, a very saddened looking Canadian leadership group out there. But yeah, absolutely. Team Canada, a lack of discipline, just cost themselves the tournament, right? I mean, anyone that wants to blame the referees, go ahead and make excuses. But for Team Canada, a pathetic showing in terms of calm down, stay out of the box. And for Hockey Canada, if this is not a wake-up call to start putting hitting back in the lower levels of hockey where it belongs, I don't know what is. The leading with the knees tonight that cost Canada the game, absolutely embarrassing for a country that is so advanced at hockey. You should not have this issue. But Team Canada, of course, right, you've eliminated as Hockey Canada hitting all the way up until U15 at the top tiers of U15. So an embarrassing go as a hockey nation where our young guys aren't learning how to hit anymore, and it just cost you a national tournament, international tournament. And that is pure truth. Friends, that will pretty much do it for me here tonight. Again, if you are new to the channel, please consider sticking around, coming back for that Edmonton Oilers game later tomorrow, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Would love to have you aboard. Hit that subscribe button, free and easy to do. It's a 4-3 Czechia final. Again, we'll go through the goal scorers, wind down this hockey game, and get up on out of here as they play the Czech anthem right now. Peter Sikora, Tanner Howe, Jacob Stankel, Edward Sale. That is how we finished up the first period. It was 3-1 Czechia. Canada made it a game from there. Porter Martone, Bradley Nadeau tie up the hockey game as Nadeau punches one through Hrabal, and ultimately it's Adam Dzeko who scores the power play goal with 40 seconds to go in the game that wins Czechia the quarterfinals. Friends, thank you so much for being aboard here this evening. Team Canada, again, if you're looking for an excuse as a Canadian fan, didn't want to play a disciplined game, got burned for it. You don't be dumb at the IIHF. That's what it always is. Team Canada eliminated this evening in the quarterfinal action. That will do it for the World Juniors for Canada, and we will move on. Friends, thanks for being aboard. I am up on out of here.